Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the Dynasty Land stream here on the 6th of May. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We are balls deep. Okay, maybe I could have said that better, but we are in the thick of Dynasty rookie draft season. I appreciate y'all being here, hanging out with me. Let me know who is in the chat tonight, who is spending their time watching a real Dynasty rookie draft go down. Sammy Stacks, we gave him the night off for good behavior. Okay, so he's been a great contributor to the channel, but I appreciate you guys being here. Let us know who I'm hanging out with. Like I said, what's up, Zom, Henry in the building, Scribbles, Nicholson, Dub G. We've got Mike here. We've got Dynasty Dude in the building. What's up, King? He says, can I get a trade question answered with a super chat or through the site? I would say the site is the best place, my friend. I'll have the most context about your question. If you sync up your teams, you'll get a code as well to exactly when I answered your question, a time code, so you won't have to hang around the stream to when I answer it. But what's up, everybody? Welcome in. I see you guys. Hopefully you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I do have a real draft for you today with the Echo League, and I'm excited to kind of get into this thing and see where everything lands. It's not an uncommon trend in these drafts for me, as you guys know so far. I only have 2 picks. I've got the 107 and the 412. So we are your reigning champion, all right? And yes, I have to let you know legally. I'm obligated to let you know that I am your reigning champion. But I do appreciate you guys in here hanging out. We've got a real Dynasty rookie draft with the Echo League. Shout out to all the Echo League. But again, appreciate y'all for being here. Look, a couple things I want to point out real quick. All right. If you don't know, I did send a message in the Discord, but we did start a brand new channel called Fantasyland Shorts. If you haven't subscribed to that channel yet, I'll go ahead and just spam it into the YouTube chat. Go subscribe. We will start releasing content middle of May, so we're actually very soon going to start releasing content over there on that channel. We also have a brand new league available for you guys on the landleagues.com website. All right, this drawing will happen here very, very soon. It will happen on Sunday night. But if you want to get into a land league, then go to landleagues.com, check out the site. It'll give you a option from 1 to it'll give you steps 1 to 4 on exactly how you can enter. All brand new land annual Mother Flocker members will enter. And because of the Hera League, in honor of the Hera League, that is our giveaway code word for today. So if you would like to enter today's giveaway, all you have to do is simply like the stream. That's step 1. Step 2 is to type Hera, H-E-R-A. Again, that is the league that will be drafting Monday night that you guys can get access to if you are a brand new annual Mother Flocker member. Okay, let's jump into this real rookie draft. Guys, this is a 12-team super flex. I believe we're actually a start 10 in this lineup. Let me double check that with the Echo League. I am your reigning champion. Feel very good about the team that we built, and we actually planned on punting last year, but then in the draft last year during this very moment, like in the real draft on the live stream, I made a bunch of trades that put me more towards a contending lineup. So we are in a start 10 here as well, which you love to see. Now, I'm going to specifically speak to all the Echo people here for 1 second, because most of you guys are veterans. Most of you guys know this by now, but we are going to use the land method. Now, if you've never heard of the land method before, as my puppy just wants some attention here. If you've never heard of the land method, okay, we have a little acronym here for how we do our rookie drafts. All right. The L stands for live. Now, this is not a slow draft, okay? This is a live draft. We just feel like the best drafts that we can remember growing up are the drafts where we dedicated time and effort into, really slotting off 1 to 2 hours of time and being there. The atmosphere is just really different, right? So it's a live draft. It's not a slow draft. I need to change the graphics because we used to do 5 minutes on the clock for the first 2 rounds. However, we have changed that to 3 minutes on the clock in the first 2 rounds, and then we go to 1.5 in rounds 3 and 4. The A stands for action, okay? Everybody has what we call a trade window. Now, a trade window, essentially you have to be on the clock to call your trade window, but when you're on the clock, you can call your trade window, and that's when the negotiation starts. that is the one time throughout the entire year that everybody will be vying for your attention, betting on whatever asset it is that you want to sell. So let's say, for example, C-Bomb at the 101 wants to shop the 101. He can call his trade window, and then all 11 other league members will have a chance to go ahead and bid on that asset, okay? So that is the land method, and obviously we will get this draft started here very, very soon. I love you, Bean. Let's put him on the couch. He's a little bit of a lonely dog sometimes, so we've got to just give him some love, you know. He gets separation anxiety when we start to stream. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into this real draft. Again, 3 minutes on the clock, and we also will have our trade window here ready to go in case people call it. But let's go ahead and start this thing in 3, 2, 1. As C-Bomb is on the clock there at the 101. Now, I have already messaged some people about some trades that I would like to make. But in case anybody in the stream who's in the Echo League hasn't heard, I would be willing to trade up from the 107 into that top 6. So if you're at all interested in making a deal and tearing down, please send me a message. I would love to see what offers are out there. As Jeremiah Love comes off the board pretty much straight away. I did send a pretty aggressive trade offer to C-Bomb. I don't think he would mind me sharing it. For the 101. Let's see. I'll show you guys the offer I sent. It's hard to get the 101 right now, y'all. I sent Devon Achane, the 107, and a third for the 101 and a 27-second. He wasn't interested. He said, look, not a bad offer at all, but he's a younger team. He wants to build around Jeremiah Love, so yes. But let me check in with the chat. Again, I appreciate y'all being here. Chase says, I remember this stream live last year. You couldn't sell Genty, so you said, F it, honestly. I love that you won for proof of concept. Yes, that's actually really fair. Last year, we were in a draft, and I was trying to tear down, and I was trying to kind of maximize my picks, and there wasn't a lot of movement. However, I had an offer in my inbox that would allow me to go more towards a contender, and I didn't plan on contending. But we went out there and we decided to contend, and we are now your reigning champions of the Echo League. Again, appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate that, Brown. Bean is a cute boy. He's a cute boy. His name is Bean, by the way, in case anybody cares. Let's see. We did get a super chat come through from Nicholas. Nicholas says, trade question. Drake May or Garrett Wilson and the 111 Jordan Love. Yeah, I would pretty confidently go Drake May here. Not opposed to tearing down from Drake May, but I don't really like the idea of Jordan Love being a pivotal piece of that tear down. Did we get a trade window called here? Oh, we've got a trade window. I apologize, Cheddar Bob. Okay, so we did just get a trade window called. So for the next 5 minutes, anybody in this league can go ahead and send offers for the 102. I assume that's what Cheddar Bob is trying to sell. Cheddar Bob, if you're out there and you want to tear down to the 107, send me an offer. Like, I'm definitely intrigued and interested. But with Nicholas, yeah, I'm not opposed to tearing down from Drake May, but I don't like that Jordan Love is the quarterback you're tearing down to. I don't think it makes sense to do it for Garrett Wilson, or the 111. Like, those are just, it's just not exactly assets that I'm desperate to get a hold of right now, right? Nicholson says you should make a prediction on who you are taking with the 412 and see if it comes true. Okay, I'll write something down here. You know what? Let me take a second and really kind of channel my inner thoughts here. Let's see, at the 412, Zach, who do you expect to get there? If you guys remember, I did this last year. And we did this in the... Which league was it? I believe it was Bravo or something. All we had was the 412, and I think it was Kamanangai that we selected, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, at the 412. Oof, I don't imagine many people are going to be available. Okay, I've got one. I've got one in mind. Okay. We have a name written down. We have a name written down. We'll see if it kind of comes to fruition. Awesome, King. I'll get to that as soon as we finish the draft portion of today's stream. I promise you, brother. What's up, Wild Dog? Welcome in. I might send an offer here. Tree Stone's guessing who I just wrote down, by the way, who's in the draft at the 103. He said, you're not getting that running back you just wrote down. Okay, Chad, I'm gonna send you an offer. Apologies, it took me 3 minutes, but offer is coming your way. I'll take that. I'll give you this. I don't know if I can give you a good offer. Well, let's see what you think about this. Okay. Offer has been sent. Remember, guys, we are applying code cinnamon today. Okay. Now, code cinnamon, what does that mean? This is an active draft. It's a real draft, real money on the line. So do your absolute best to not mention players that haven't been drafted. All right. Think about when you're in a real draft, in a real room with your friends, and and you've got that atmosphere of a real draft. Nothing is worse, and Danny did it the first Flock League draft that we ever had, when you're about to be on the clock and someone's yelling out, how is this guy still on the board? Right? I can say it because this player won't be drafted today, but I remember Danny back in 2024 yelling, how is Ken Walker still on the board? And everyone's like, dude, like, can you just stop? Like, so that is code cinnamon. Is the audio quiet for other people? Let me know. Let me know if the audio is quiet. I'll keep it a buck with y'all. This is not a flu game for me, but I am dealing with a major sickness right now in my throat and my congestion, and I'm gonna have to put you back on the clock there, Cheddar Bob. But I apologize if my voice is at all off today. It's this sickness has been kicking my ass. Okay, how many of you have gone and followed the Fantasyland Shorts channel so far? Let's see. All right, we got 4 people from the stream to follow. If you haven't followed yet, go take 3 seconds of your time. Give us a sub over there on the Fantasyland Shorts channel. We're going to start releasing some short form content for you this year. As Carnell Tate comes off the board, no surprise there. That's pretty much what we would expect. And Cheddar Bob, I apologize for the offer. I know it wasn't a very good one. I just didn't really know what else to offer you. Zom says, I want to be the most subbed short from the guy in chat. No kidding, I subbed. Oh my gosh. What's up, Jack? He's got a question. I'll be curious what the chat thinks about it. Bijan and Lawrence, or Genty, Tate, and Ward? Answers, Very interesting question. Let Go says, I'm bringing my new pup to Australia so they can meet. That's hilarious. Jordan Tyson off the board at the 103. What's Mile High Luke up to here? Hey, Cass, if you're watching this, send me an offer. I think we got a trade window coming in. Yes, we do have a trade window. Mile High Luke, send me an offer you like to tear down to the 107 here. All right, his trade window has begun. I'm going to mark this down on the background here. So we've had Shed Herbob. Sorry. Apologies, gang. Mile High Luke. Those are our two trade window callers so far, if you will. But I'll send you something, Mile High. Just let me know what you think. And also Cass. If Cass is watching, he says, I'm driving, but I'm watching. If you have any trade in mind where you move from the 106 to the 107, hit me up. I'm curious to know what that might cost for you. Hit my line. Man, I really don't know what to send you. Mile High. Okay, I'll send you something. Wow, this would really put me all in, all in. Now, this isn't a fair offer to send you, though. Ah, I don't know what to send you, dude. Dang. I don't have a good offer, Mile High. I don't want to disrespect you. I was going to send you something, but I just thought, it's not worth it. I don't want to disrespect you with an offer like that. Again, guys, appreciate y'all being here with us. If you'd like to enter today's giveaway, very simple. All you have to do is like the stream and then type the code word today, which is Hera. It's a two-step process. Very, very simple. Code word is Hera because we do have a real draft that you can enter right now, a startup draft. This draft will take place on Monday night. Every Monday night at landleagues.com, you have a new chance to enter a league. If you're a brand new promo code LAND and you're the Flocker member, then you will get fast-tracked into this league as well. But I'll put that link in the chat in case anybody would like to join Hera. But also, make sure you get your your entry in for tonight's giveaway. Master here says 10-team Waddle, Genty, or Puka Aaron Jones. Oof. In a 10-team, I probably lean Puka, but it's pretty close, honestly. I'll be right back right after this trade window. Give me 1 second, gang. All right, gang, we are back. I apologize for the intermission there. This sickness is honestly kicking my ass right now. We did have a trade go down, though. And Cass, please let me know if you'd like to make a deal here for the 106 and the 107. But let's have a look at the trade that went down here in this league. It looks like Mile High Luke moved up one spot. And all it took to do so was the 212. In this class, that's not egregious. That's not, crazy at all whatsoever. But obviously, Mile High moves back, is what I meant to say. And Treestone goes ahead and locks in Makai Lemon, which must have been their player of choice, if you will. So that trade did go down. I was watching that. It is my Jordan flu game right now. I'm trying, Macy. I'm trying. Anyway, is Cass, would you, I'm going to send you something, Cass. I'm going to send you something. He's going to call his trade window. Okay. I will send an offer in your inbox. Okay. Offer is in your inbox, my friend. In fact, I'm going to send you 2 offers. I'm going to send you 2 offers, and I guess it just comes down to how you feel about them. He is still driving, he says. Okay. I'm super intrigued to know what Cass would think about this, but okay. 2 offers in your inbox. And if Cass allows me, I'm not afraid to, tell you all what I offered here, but we'll see what he thinks. He's apparently still driving. So I just want to be very clear that the Dynasty Land channel does not condone drafting and driving at the same time. I just want to be very clear, okay? Not something that I condone. It is happening, all right? We're aware. We're going to recognize that, but not something that I would condone, okay? Just want to be very, very clear here. And Saxter says, just got off work, we lit. So Saxter's in the chat now. Saxter has a 204, 308, and the 408 there. Okay, but apparently he pulled over. I have an update. Cass did pull over. So he's not driving and trading at the same time. Just to make sure we're all on the same page here. Just can't wait to hear back. See if Cass thinks anything about my trades. Oh, I didn't start the trade window. How long has it been, guys? How long have I been yapping for? Someone tell me. 2 minutes? Should we put it down to 3 minutes then? How did I not start that? I apologize. Okay, there we go. I sent 2 trades. Cass rejected one of them. Let's see. How about the second one, Cass? What you thinking here? Only you can stop forest fires. Smokey the Bear, what an icon. What an absolute icon. Yes, thank you, Scribbles. Scribbles is my legal representation, by the way. Not liable for any accident caused by the decisions of league mates during the rookie draft. Maybe I should throw that in to the land method somewhere, maybe on like the bottom, you know, if we've got space right down here, little disclaimer, you know, not responsible for any injuries that may or may not occur. Okay, the trade window keeps bugging out. That's so frustrating. Sorry, gang. Let's put this on 2 minutes, 30 seconds. But this is a great time to tell you, if you have not yet entered today's giveaway, it's a great time to do so. In fact, we are going to do, I decided, you know, it's a big day. I appreciate you guys, a lot of support, and I am going to go ahead and do a team playbook giveaway today. It's very rare that I can do these anymore, but I am going to do these one team playbook giveaway today. So in order for you to enter, all you have to do is like the stream. That's step 1. Step 2 is to type our code word, which is Hera. And again, the reason why Hera is the code word is because we do have a brand new land league that you can be a part of, the Hera League, which just launched on landleagues.com. Very simple way to get in is to become a promo code land annual Motherflocker member. All right. Obviously I can fast track people into that league until the league fills up itself. Cass rejected both my trades, so I get the feeling I am not going to be drafting here. And that's okay. So, the 2 trades that I sent. Now, I got no counter, to be fair. I wasn't opposed to a counter. But the first trade that I sent the 107 plus RJ Harvey to move to the 106. Second trade I sent, which I was intrigued to see what Cass may or may not have thought. Cass loves a future first-round pick. In my experience, he loves gaining future picks. So I sent him the 107 and a 27 first for the 106 and Dak. I get the feeling he's not really interested at all. Otherwise, I probably would have got a counter, but that is okay. What's up, Albert? Welcome in, my dude. Welcome in, broski. Okay, we have got to put you back on the clock, Cass. Honestly, I don't even know how much time you really had for your trade window. You might have actually had 10 minutes for all I know. We did not do a great job of tracking that. Okay, I would like to take a second, sit right there, tell you how it became. Okay. Look, if I don't call my trade window now, I'm not going to get a trade window. It's the 107 and the 412. Those are the only picks I have in today's draft. So I'm just going to say, send me offers for the 107. Oh, that's supposed to be all. But send me offers. I'll go ahead and I'll start my trade window here. I know who I'm going to take here if I am on the board. I'm very confident in the player that I'll take next. But I'd like to see if anyone's intrigued by making a move. How about you, C-Bomb? C-Bomb. Guys, I'm sorry. I am actively in this draft. So right now, my only focus is making deals. That is where my focus lies right now. Oof. I see someone saying, sorry, I don't know what you're sorry for. I apologize if I confused you there. I'm not upset with anyone. Man. Okay. I feel like this could make sense, C-Bomb. I don't think you're wanting to be too competitive right now. So, let's see what you think about this. Based on our previous convos, I think you might be open to that. Jay Stump. Old reliable Jay Stump. Could we get something done, Jay? I don't know. You know what? I will send you something, Jay. You let me know if you're intrigued. You guys are the only guys that I imagine I'm going to make a deal with. I would obviously send this pick away for a future first if anybody wants to do that, but I imagine nobody would, which means it's really me, C-Bomb, and Jay Stump who I'm willing to make a trade with. D. Macy says Bean is upset he's not drafting. Oh gosh, he's so cute, guys. I love my dog. I don't know if y'all can see him based off this angle. No. Oh. Can you see him right down here? Gosh, he's so cute, man. Bean, you're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. Yeah, good boy. Okay. I don't want to waste our time. Oh wait, I did just get a couple offers. Okay, hold on. We could be cooking here. Whoa! Ugh, I don't like that at all. Is there a counter here, though? I just got another offer. I'm gonna have to maybe not focus on this other one. So let's see. T-Stump, this isn't terrible. There's just no way I'm taking on that tight end that you're sending me. I would need... to do something like this. So I move back. I can't take on that tight end, but this is a counter. What was my trade window at? Sorry, guys, this is malfunctioning. Let's just say, what do you guys think? What do you think I had left? Let's say a minute, 30 seconds, something like that. That feels like a fair counter, J-Stump, compared to what you offered, though. Do we have a counter, J Stump? What do you think? Okay, here's a counter that's closer to what you originally offered. Oh shoot, I'll put myself on the clock. All I need to know is if J Stump is interested. If not, I'm going to make my pick here. You know what? To make it interesting, I will take Casey Concepcion. I am going to draft Casey Concepcion. So if anybody wants to draft him, that's at the 108, 109, or 110. Now is your time to speak. You've got a minute and 15 seconds. Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. I'll put it all out on the table here for you. This pick will be Casey Concepcion. Maybe that sparks someone to make an offer. Maybe it doesn't. But Concepcion's about to be on my team in 60 seconds. Okay. Well, I'm not going to waste anyone's time here. If the people at the 108, 19, and 110 want to make a deal with me, then they can use their time on their clock to make a deal with me. But I am going to go ahead and select Casey Concepcion, and C-Bomb had Sadiq automatically queued up. So, J Stump, I am willing to talk about a trade up here from the 109 to the 107 if you'd like. You can hit me with some ideas. As Ty Simpson comes off the board there. So Casey Concepcion. Looks like a trade window has just been called by J Stump. And I wonder if he will come back to the well. The well is me. I am the well. Okay? I want to know if he'll come back to me, if we'll have a conversation about a trade or not. We'll find out. Again, guys, if you have yet to subscribe to our Shorts channel, just want to give you a nice little heads up there. We did go ahead and start a Shorts channel, Fantasyland Shorts. I will be posting content there more frequently this year than ever before. So if you're a big fan of short form content, I just spammed that link in the chat. Go take a couple seconds, subscribe to the Fantasyland Shorts channel. Would really appreciate that. It would be awesome if we had like 50 subscribers or something before our first video. That'd be really, really cool accomplishment. So I appreciate y'all. Big love. We're about to get into the redraft season side of things. So there's going to be a lot of redraft content coming soon. As most of you already know, the Fantasyland football channel is going to start taking up a big chunk of my time and my priorities. So obviously if you haven't subscribed there, but we'll release our first video, not next week, but the week after on Fantasyland football. And then it will be weekly videos. It'll go from 1 video per week, then up to 2. And obviously we get into season, it's like 6 or 7 videos per week. We'll have shorts as well. So make sure you guys are subscribing over there to the channel. Awesome to already see 30 subscribers on the shorts channel. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for the love. What's up, Bobby? You can join a league. Sorry, I'm just seeing if there's a trade out there for me in this league. Yes, look, anybody who's watching can be a part of a land league. Okay, if you guys want to be a part of land follower leagues, we have a brand new league that the community is a part of every single Monday night. Every single Monday night, we've got a real startup draft that you can get in, be a part of. The whole idea of landleagues.com, which you can go to landleagues.com at any point, the whole idea of it, the whole premise of it, the whole manifesto is good leagues that matter, that are competitive, that you can confidently put your time and effort and energy into. Way too many people out there are joining Dynasty leagues and they fall apart like that. Okay? It's either there's no money, there's no person that's trustworthy running the league. Landleagues.com solves that. Okay? It's your one-stop shop for leagues that really matter. All you have to do is become a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. All right? If you're a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member, you get a guaranteed spot in a brand new league. We have new leagues every single Monday for you guys. So yeah, definitely go check that out. I'm realizing that every time I change screens, the trade window reactivates. So I'm going to put this back where I believe it was at 2 minutes left. But yeah, please DM me if you have any questions, and obviously you can enter that drawing today. Honestly, I don't have a share of Casey Concepcion yet, so I'm not that upset about this. Not to say that I am better than anybody else, but this is one of my favorite teams in our follower leagues that I've built. Drake May, Bo Nix, Genty, Achan, CD, Alave, Pitts, and then we're flexing Brees, Bucky, Marvin. So honestly, adding KC feels right here. It feels right, honestly. I feel like I could really use someone after Marvin and before Matthew as that little buffer. So, and again, I apologize for coughing, and I'll put a throat lozenge in later. It's just I'm really dealing with some sicknesses in my throat, and I'm pushing through. Jay Stump, who was on the trade window, said, "I'm not getting anything. You can go ahead and restart it." Honestly, of any year we've ever done Dynasty rookie drafts, this is the one year where if you're at the 107 to the 110, or if you have a late first, maybe that's a better way to say it, there's never been less interest in these picks in trade downs. I mean, we've got Scotsman calling his trade window here. I mean, typically, you can get into a draft and there's so much action and there's so much movement. But this year in particular, that late first is just, it's rough. I apologize in advance. I have put a throat lozenge in. Okay. Wyatt says, what kind of content are going to be posted on the Shorts channel? All types of content, right? It'll be very similar to the long form content that I post. But I'm basically going to choose my favorite takes from each video and make short form content out of them. Oh my gosh, Brown. I'm so sorry to hear this, man. Oh, this is heartbreaking. My dog died Friday, so it's nice to take my mind off of things and watch this. I love the dog, man. Oh. So sorry. You know, some people who aren't dog people or have never owned a dog might think this is dramatic, but seriously, sorry for your loss. It's, you know, pets are part of the family. They really are. They're a part of your everyday. You know, you're walking them every day, playing with them, making sure they're getting fed. It's a big loss. So shout out to you and your family. And, you know, I'm sorry that happened. All right, Scotsman is on the clock here. We do it. He does have his trade window. What does Scotsman team look like? Let's have a look here. Pretty good team, honestly. Pretty good team. Some injuries, but overall, pretty good. Okay, so the top 10, there are no surprises, really. Now that we've gone through the top 10, in order to not commit code cinnamon, I'd like to hear from you guys. Who do you think, I guess, in the top 10 in your drafts is being disrespected? In the drafts that you're doing, in your real rookie drafts, things that you're seeing, maybe you're seeing it on the streams as well. Who is one player that you think is being drafted too low, is not getting enough respect? I do want to take a second here while we have this trade window and talk about the Travis Hunter thing. You know, we have talked about Travis Hunter a lot this offseason, okay? And we have pretty consistently told you guys, hey, there's no new news that is going to make us change whether we move him up or down our rankings. And Liam Cohen did come out today and say the plan has not changed at all. He's going to play both sides of the ball, just like we drafted him to do. I went to my rankings and I thought, where should I have Travis Hunter ranked? I think you can put him as high as 26. I'm finding it really difficult to put him any higher than that. Would be curious to know your guys' thoughts on the situation, but he is still going to play some cornerback. I like him as a prospect a lot, but I still don't know if I can put him over AJ or Smith or Waddle, Williams, Concepcion. That's kind of where I've landed, personally. Okay. I did ask you guys, who do you think has been underdrafted, disrespected? Cold says Concepcion. A lot of people saying Mendoza. We've got a lot of people saying Mendoza. 8 Crazy Night says Price went at the 110 in his league today. Are you kidding me? The 110? For what reason? I mean, who are people drafting over him there? Truly, that's shocking. I can't really wrap my head around that, dude. I know he's like everyone's favorite player to hate this cycle, but the 110 is just... That's crazy, dude. A lot of people talk Mendoza sliding down drafts. It's hard for people to envision the Raiders' offense being good. And like, I don't blame them, but at the same time, you know, brand new staff, improvements on the offensive line, year 2 for Genty, healthy Brock Bowers. I think that's not a bad shout. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put you back on the clock, Scotsman. I could be wrong, but I imagine there's probably not a lot of action for the pick right now, as Stowers comes off the board and the Dong Song is on the clock. Bobby says, what's your thoughts on Sadiq? I have all of my thoughts on the entire class presented in our rookie report. I'm not saying you need to go check it out, but in case anybody is interested, the 2026 Rookie Report, which obviously you get access to all the draft guides when you become a LAN member. But, all right, we do have another trade window here. I can't blame anybody for taking their trade windows. All I'll say, guys, is I have a lot of 111s and 112s this year. And I have not received a single offer for them. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to keep it a buck. But let's see. If you guys want to trade for the 112, hit up the Dong Song now. But Kenyon Sadiq. Let's go to tight ends. I do like Kenyon Sadiq. Here was my write-up on Kenyon Sadiq. You'll see that at the bottom right here of your screen. I wrote, vicious. That's the one word I'd use to describe Kenyon Sadiq. And it applies to every aspect of his game. Freak athleticism, one of the best tight end combine performances we've ever seen. All that makes him impossible to ignore. He's an above average blocker, and if you can get him at his top speed, to his top speed after the catch, it's dangerous. My concern is that we're all falling in love with the athlete, and the inconsistent hands are, with the athlete rather than the receiving threat. Rounded off routes, questionable ball skills, and inconsistent hands are a real issue. Vernon Davis is the ceiling if he develops the receiving game to match the physical tools. So, I've said this pretty much all offseason. I do like Kenyon Sadiq. We can all agree he's an incredible athlete. No one's going to question that. But the role of actually being a receiving threat, you know, what we really covet in Dynasty football, I do think there is still a lot of growth that's needed there from Kenyon Sadiq. However, there's a ton of correlation between athleticism and production for the tight end position. So I would say he has a great chance to hit. Obviously, being drafted in round 1 is a great indicator. Don't ever see him being a number 1 weapon on an offense. Like, this is not a Brock Bowers. This is not a Colson Loveland, not a Tyler Warren. You know, if you put all those guys in a class, he would be very clearly last and not in the same tier as those guys for me. But he is a good player. A lot of raw talent. One of my team fits for him was the New York Jets before the draft. So it is cool to see him go to the New York Jets. You know, Geno Smith could definitely be... There are worse... I know it sounds crazy to say, but there are worse year 1 quarterbacks to start your career with. So, but definitely like some Kenyon Sadiq. I'm a fan of his. I find it difficult to prioritize him in non-tight end premium leagues, though. Dong Song says, "Can I bank time?" No, not really. Unfortunately, no. You can't call the trade window twice. But I can put you back on the clock if you'd like. No pressure either way. It is not a rollover system, unfortunately, gang. He says, nothing is coming in, just launch it. Unfortunately, guys, I think that's just the real reality of late 2026 firsts. You know, they are, they're not that attractive to people. Like, you guys have watched me draft for multiple weeks now in these real rookie drafts at the back end of the board. How often do you see me get a deal done if I have the 111 and 112? Almost never. People are just not interested in these picks. So it's the unfortunate reality. As we get Jonah Coleman coming off the board at the 112, and now C-Bomb is back on the clock with that 201. Took Sadiq at the 108. Love at the 101. Now has that 201. Can make another impact selection here. Scribble says, I can see Noah Fant. Right. What was my comp for Sadiq? My comp for Sadiq was Vernon Davis. At his best, at his worst, Jonnu Smith, which isn't a perfect comp. I'll recognize that, but I do think something that Sadiq has going for him, which I'm realizing not everybody agrees. I think he's a better blocker than people give him credit for. I've heard the O.J. Howard comp before. I've heard that one before. Yeah. I would like to hear your hot takes, gang. I'd like to hear your hot takes for the 2026 season. Not for rookies, just in general. I want to hear your hot takes for the 2026 season. Let's hear them. Tree Stone says, can I trade my trade window for a fourth? Not available. Okay, Cold says Super Bowl champs are the Bears. That's not hot enough for me, I don't think. All right, if we're talking about a scale of 1 to 10, Cold, that's more like a 3 on the hot scale. Okay, Brian, that is wild. See, this is hot. Tyler Shuck wins MVP. I will say Tyler Shuck is someone that I think he's such a fun player to own right now in Dynasty. I currently have Shuck ranked at 18. I have Shuck over Jordan Love. I don't know if that's insane, but it's true. Michael, this is a hot take. He says, Casey Concepcion, number 1 wide receiver in this draft. And as someone who just drafted Casey Concepcion, I go ahead and I put my blessing over this offer. Okay? You now have my blessing over this this hot take. As it looks like C-Bomb's got a queue they're working with. Cass is up next. Cass is the 202 and the 206. We've got Tree Stone, who traded the 203 and then got it back somehow. As that is definitely a Q pick. Nicholas Singleton comes off the board. And now Cass is on the clock. All right, let's see some more hot takes here. Brown with a hot take. And he says, Henderson takes over lead back in New England and finishes top 10. I like that. You know, not the hottest take. I am certainly not opposed to it, though. I do have Henderson reaching about, I had him at 15, just over 15 points per game this year. I think he has a great season. Dry Python again. I think this is a little, you know, I wouldn't call this hot. This is probably lukewarm. A lot of people would maybe say Bijan's already the best non-quarterback offensive player. This is very hot from Adrian. Egbuka, wide receiver 1 overall finish. I don't think it's crazy, but it is hot. It is hot. That's a hot take. But I'm saying, like, the range of outcome is not wild. Top 5 feels very, very possible. If they don't spread the wealth and, you know, make sure Tez gets some and Cade gets some and Godwin, if they allow Egbuka to be featured, that's a total possibility. Rioza with maybe the hottest take so far. Matthew Golden does something. Look, I love Matthew Golden as a buy right now. You know, in fact, if you don't like the seconds in this year's class, a lot of you guys are probably able to sell your 203, 204 for a Matthew Golden anyway. Right? So, not a bad idea to shop that in your own leagues. Kevin says, Devontae Adams, number 1 receiving yards and touchdown. I could see touchdowns. The receiving yards is definitely a hot take because I think Puka would have to have an injury there. To be fair, Adams did go down with an injury himself. But where did he finish last year? Last year, Adams was 34th. but do we have like a yards per game? Let's look at yards per game. Yards per game, where was Adams? Adams was... I don't know. That's the thing. If you guys had Devontae Adams, he did not get a lot of yardage. It was just... He was just a red zone fiend. But that is definitely a hot take. I'll give you credit for that hot take there. Lucas says, with Mahomes missing time, Broncos take the division and win the Super Bowl with Bo Nix throwing 40 touchdowns and rushing for 15. You know what? I'm pretty sure you're in this league, aren't you? You know who has Bo Nix? Come send me an offer, brother. Come send me an offer. I'm expecting that value in return. No, I'm kidding. As Boston comes off the board at the 203. Really surprised to see him fall that far. Was watching it happen in real time. You know, I think Boston has some warts on his profile. But, again, just surprised to see him fall all the way to the 203. That was a little bit of a surprise for me. Where's Boston going in your guys' drafts? Is he typically a second-round pick for you guys? I feel like he is in ours. It's typically Stowers Coleman before him. Okay. I want to make sure my PC doesn't fall off the rack here. Okay, Saxter's going to call his trade window here. I hope that there is some action that's going to go down because these trade windows are getting tough in the late first, second round. We do not have any action there. Okay, so a lot of people are saying he's at like the 111, 112. Cole got him at the 205. Wow. Okay, hot takes, hot takes. Scribbles, I won't even say this one, okay? Malik Willis, top 12 quarterback season would be hot for sure. Dak for MVP. Dart MVP. Kevin, this is a hot take, I would say for sure in the Dynasty streets right now. Luther Burden isn't as good as some think. Roman Loveland do the heavy lifting, and I'm a Mizzou fan. Oof, wow. I will say that it's no secret. It's no secret, excuse me, that I have been very openly pro buying whatever receivers you can in Chicago, including Rome Odunze. I do feel like a lot of the community here, not here, but just in Dynasty, is suggesting that you have to pick and choose. You've got to be a Burden guy. You've got to be a Rome guy. You've got to choose between the two. And I just don't agree. This is definitely a hot take, though, because a lot of people are saying Luther Burden's the next Amon-Ra St. Brown. You wouldn't have found a bigger Luther Burden fan than myself before the draft last year. I think he's capable, but I just believe Rome Odunze is too good not to include it in the offense. And overall, I think we will have a lot of involvement from all three of those guys. And I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I feel like people are not considering that as a possibility. Gitu says, I don't know if it's a hot take, but Aaron Glenn is going to get fired. I could see that happening. Whoever the Jets head coach is, I'm just going to assume that they're going to get fired. Hot take. Skylar Bell finishes ahead of Khalil Shakir in receiving on the Bills. That's a hot take, and I like it. I like the hot take there. I would love to be a fly on the wall right now and see what sort of trades are being sent for these picks right now. Like, I'd be so curious to see what offers are being sent for, you know, these late first, early seconds. Ooh, Dynasty Dude with a hot take there. Says, I did send him in there. Sorry, guys. Marvin Harrison Jr. shows everyone why he was valued so highly. Finishes as a top 10 receiver. God, I would love that. I actually bought Marvin Harrison in this league. Can I show you guys? Yeah. So I bought Marvin Harrison in this league. I believe it was Marvin, the 107, and a 28 first. I sent away Pickens, a second. And what second does Scotsman have in this draft then? It must have been the 207. I don't know. But I, as a very big George Pickens guy, I don't have a lot of Marvin Harrison. I just wanted to add a stock of him. I also didn't want to have CD and Pickens on the same team. I've got a lot of Pickens, so. We did get a trade go down. Thank God. Okay, my guy Antonio Williams comes off the board from Treestone. And the trade that went down was... Man, come on, Sleeper. Show us the actual picks, man. Sleeper, y'all got to spend more time on your app and less time on your pick'ems, man. Like, no disrespect, but don't leave us behind. Don't leave the fantasy players behind that built you. Okay, so in order to move up 6 spots, Treestone sent a second next year. That's an aggressive offer. He wanted to go get his guy, and his guy is Antonio Williams. You know what? Props to him, man. Props to getting your guy. All right, last place Joe up on the clock. Last place Joe. This is his first pick of the draft. Who was in the semis last year with me? How did the league look in the playoffs last year? I'm trying to remember. Okay, so last year it was actually myself and Badaki in the finals, and we beat Badaki in the finals. He still got money though. Okay, so he ends his tenure in the Echo League, getting some money for second place, but last place Joe and Stay Puffed were in third place there. That's a fun one to look back on. Okay, Antonio Williams off the board, and now it looks like that's who Cass was wanting to draft at the 206, by the way. That's funny. So Cass starts his draft, Mendoza, Chris Bell, and now we'll see what happens at the 206. Look, some of you guys are asking about players that I can't talk about because of Code Cinnamon. Okay? So I'm trying not to commit Code Cinnamon. And I, you know, sometimes I can't answer some of those hot takes. Okay, you had some more hot takes here. I love this one from Washington fan. Chika Conko, top 10 tight end finish. I don't think it's crazy. I really don't. Top 10 is not a high bar for tight ends anymore, is it? Or it really has it ever been. But when you look at that offense, I don't think it's the craziest take I've ever seen, man. I really don't. I can't answer this question from James, sorry. Thoughts on Antonio Williams versus Jeremy Bernard? I have them very close in my rankings. I've got Antonio one spot higher. Historical draft capital is going to tell you to take Jeremy Bernard, but contextually looking at their two situations, I can see a scenario in which Williams is heavily featured in year one. I struggle to see that scenario for Jeremy in Pittsburgh, although I do think that overall Pittsburgh is a better offense in 2026 than they were in 2025, right? I think they will be a better offense, so trying to contextualize all of that. Scribbles, I try my best. I try my best, okay? Okay. Favorite vet to trade in the 108, 110 range. Well, I've got the video for you, my friend. We did a whole video on this that released a couple days ago and goes pick by pick and kind of tier by tier and shows you what you can get for every player. But I would say just off the top of my head, sorry, gang. Off the top of my head, my voice is going to go. DJ Moore. DJ Moore. Jalen Waddle. Javonte in some leagues for some reason. He's doable there. Yeah. Holy Emmett Johnson coming off the board. I love it. Let's see some wild stuff here, y'all. Honestly, I was thinking like, you know, will there be a day in the future where if I'm so sick that I can replicate like my voice in AI and then, you know, Neuralink myself with Elon or something. This is a joke, by the way. I'm not going to do this, but... And it's like, it'll speak for me. Obviously, that's a joke, but... Wow, Emmett Johnson off the board in the second round at the 207. Tree is going to use the window here. Have you used your window yet? I don't think we've had Tree use the window yet. Okay. All right, Tree is going to use the trade window here. So they've got 5 minutes on the clock to make some trades on the board. And there's still a tier of players here that we like. Tyranol, I love this too. This is such a great comment. It's so true. I could not agree anymore. He says, I love how this draft class doesn't have a clear consensus. All my drafts have been different. Same. I mean, you go back and you look at... I'll never forget the Bravo draft. The Bravo rookie draft. This was the first week of the NFL draft when it finished. Remember how crazy this was? Coleman at the 107. Brazel at the 112. I mean, it was just chaos. Sorry, I did send him in there a little bit. Apologies. So, if anybody's interested in the 208, you can now hit up Tree Stone for the pick. Okay, let's get back to some of your hot takes here. Wyatt, let's be honest. That's not happening. Of all these hot takes, that is the hottest take. It's just not. The Cowboys will never win a Super Bowl again. Okay? Sorry, all the Cowboys fans. Sorry, not sorry. As Katrin Allen comes off the board here, I am imagining that Tree probably didn't get an offer, so just went ahead and made the pick. So we've had a trade window 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we've had most of the people call trade window by now. Duke says, please add 29 first to the calculator. Oof. Let's see. I don't know if we will have that or not. Valuing picks 3 years out is almost impossible, but you know, you can standardize what you think a pick will be worth. Wow, I think we do have those picks available to be ranked. I just need to rank them. Okay, so did the clock never start? You guys saw me rank. You guys saw me start the clock, right? I'll just put it at 3 minutes then. The clock is so buggy tonight. Sorry, guys. I think I could probably add these 29 picks. I just realized that we do have them on the website. I just haven't added them yet, but we do have the early to mid, mid to late. So I will later today, I will go in and look at adding those picks in for us. It looks like a trade did go down. Right? Because Cass is on the board. I'm gonna restart the clock here. Didn't a trade go down or no? I'm actually very confused. Yes. Wait. No. Did a trade go down or not? Cass didn't call a trade window here. Didn't Tree call the trade window? I think I'm bugging out right now. Was there not a trade window called? Guys, I might be losing my mind. I probably lost my mind. Anyway. Yeah, Greg, I think the reason that's happened is because we are now adding additional firsts. So some people haven't added them into the rankings. Some people. That's something that just happened today. But I will make sure and fix that later on in the day for you guys. Spicy or Space Monkey, is that how you say it? Says, is a live draft cheat sheet available yet? Yes, it is, my good friend. It's been available since the draft concluded, the NFL draft. But it is this tool here, the 2026 Interactive Rookie Cheat Sheet tool. I am using it right now in this very draft for my own rankings. So, absolutely. It marks off players kind of as you go. As far as my rankings, you can also see real draft ADP. Gives you a grade as you go. So, yes, my friend, it is available on the Flock site. Clock is going to change to 1.5 minutes, by the way, in the third game. Coco Bongo says he has 820-28 firsts. Jeez Louise. Hopefully you can eventually turn all those picks into a contender. All right. Cass is going to have to make a pick here. And it is Ted Hurst coming off the board. We've now got Saxter on the clock. Saxter, this is their first pick of the draft. Remember, they traded back from the 204. But Treestone does get my guy, Antonio Williams. I am so excited, not only as a Washington fan, but just for Antonio Williams. I'm excited to see him in a spot where he legitimately has a chance to kind of break out. Which I'm sure none of you guys are surprised that he was the cover of the My Guys video. Okay, where's the Shorts channel up to? How many subs are we here on the Shorts channel? 32 subs on the Shorts channel. That's awesome. If you guys are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, I'll spam this in the chat. Be a friend. Take 5 seconds of your time. Go to the Shorts channel. Go ahead and subscribe there. We're going to start releasing content here very, very soon on the Shorts channel. Would greatly appreciate y'all showing some love there. We also have a giveaway today for a live team playbook. All you have to do to enter that giveaway is simply like today's stream. And then the second step is to type our code word, which is Hera, as that is the upcoming draft that we will be in on Monday night. I need to pause the draft. This is a comp pick coming up next. Mile High Luke, this is your comp pick. So why don't you tell me who you'd like? If you guys don't know, the way the comp pick works is when the playoffs begin in a lot of your Dynasty leagues, the people in the toilet bowl probably aren't playing for much. I wanted to create a system where people would still have a reason to be in the app, care about the league, participate. So what we do here in our LAN leagues is in the playoffs, we have the toilet bowl essentially battle it out for an additional comp pick. And that comp pick is the 213. Won't show up on the draft board. Okay. The commissioner has to manually add it to the players, roster. And I will give him, yeah, he's here with us. I see him active. I think he's just trying to see who he wants. But anyway, yes, so the player will not show on the draft board. And probably if you look at this stream in about 48 hours, whatever player is selected here, there's going to be comments from people being like, why didn't that guy get drafted? It's like, you know, you can tell who's watched the stream and who hasn't, really. But I would highly suggest that you add some variation of that into your leagues. It's just a lot more fun for the people who aren't in the playoffs. Give them something to fight for. Give them a reason to care about the league at that time. Okay, so Mile High Luke. Oof, nice. He's going to go ahead and add Caleb Douglas. So Caleb Douglas has been added to Mile High Luke's team. So if you refresh the sleeper board, guys, if you're in this draft, Caleb Douglas will no longer be available. And let me just add Caleb Douglas to this graphic. Maybe what I should do as well with the comp pick is also add the player's name. Okay, so what if I did this? because a lot of people aren't recognizing the players when they are being when they're being picked here. So maybe this is going to help clear up any confusions. At least that's my goal. As Chris Brazzell comes off the board for the 301. And let's add this comp pick here. Okay, does that work better? Do we need names? Maybe we do need names in a class like this. What's up, Let Go, Let God? Yes, you can add me on LinkedIn. I'll be honest. I'll just keep it real with you. I hate LinkedIn. Not gonna lie. I've tried to like be about it, but I don't know how to describe it. I just don't inherently like the app just because I feel like it's all about people wanting connections with people depending on what that person can do for them. I don't know if that makes sense, but yes, I am on LinkedIn. Have never had a real authentic conversation on LinkedIn, but for sure. You guys can friend request me there. LinkedIn, more like linked out. Yeah, I don't know. Am I the only one who gets those vibes from LinkedIn? I've just never like seen any genuine interactions on that app, but maybe it's just me. I don't really know. Like, I'm not in that world. Like, I'm not in the corporate world, and I don't really know how to operate there well. But Caleb Douglas comes off the board. If you guys remember, in the Delta draft this week, I did kind of make an emphasis to talk about Caleb Douglas. And that's because I drafted him with the last pick. And I could not for the life of me understand why he was being just so, I guess, just determined as an afterthought, right? I mean, we constantly see Chris Bell go so high in rookie drafts. Well, in Delta, Chris Bell goes at the 201. In Echo, Chris Bell goes at the 202. And yet, so often, I mean, I see Douglas on people's waiver wires. I took him at the 412 in this draft. I just feel like there's so much, I would say, of the take behind Chris Bell that applies to Douglas outside of them being prospects. So what sort of prospects they are in. And Cass, I'm not committing code cinnamon. Look at the screen, brother. Caleb Douglas is the comp pick. I ain't committing no code cinnamon. Come on. Oscar Delp coming off the board here at the 302. Don't show the other draft. Okay, guys. All right. All right. I'll get rid of it. What does Cass have? He has a 3-6, 406, and the 409 left. I mean, everybody has access to all the live drafts that we do, to be fair. So, but Tree Stone's back on the clock. And Malachi Fields is such a great pick there. Love, love, love that pick. I'm not even a big Malachi Fields fan, but he is my 21st ranked player. I am going to send Jay Stump an offer here. Just quick. Oh, I've got to change this to 1.5 minutes now. I don't want these third and fourth rounds to drag on. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. Jay Stump, I'm going to send you something quick here. Let's say... Actually, no, I'm not. Sorry. Go ahead and make the pick. I have such limited draft capital in this one. Okay, cool. Let go. I don't even know if I have the app downloaded, but I'm gonna have a look at that later for sure. James says Caleb Douglas was a waiver wire pickup after the league in my draft. Yeah, this is a great point, cool man. I can definitely see the similarities there between the Stribling and Douglas situations. I can see the correlation. By the way, Coco, his hot take was that Miami's wide receiver 1 would be Chris Bell. Maybe a hotter take is based off of rookie draft ADP. Maybe the hottest take of all is that Caleb Douglas will outscore Chris Bell based off of the way everyone's treating the two names. Skylar Bell comes off the board. Great pick from Stump with his Q there. Again, guys, if you want to get into today's giveaway, as soon as this draft finishes, we will go ahead and spin the wheel and name a winner for a live team playbook. All you have to do to enter is simply like the stream. Okay, and step 2 is to type our code word today, which is Hera, in honor of our upcoming real draft drawing, the Hera League, which will draft on Monday night for LAN members. Again, if you have yet to subscribe to the Shorts channel, Fantasyland Shorts, we've got 35 subs over there. That's awesome. Can we get 15 people in the chat? You know what? If we get 15 people more to subscribe to the Shorts channel, if we hit 50 today, I'm not only going to give away a team playbook, I'm also going to give away 3 trade question vouchers. So we're going to have 4 winners tonight. All right, let's up the ante. If we can get 15 of y'all to subscribe by the time we do the giveaway, we'll give away a team playbook. In addition to it, 3 trade question vouchers. So 4 winners in total. So again, I'll spam that link in the chat. Bang, 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 bang. All right. If you subscribe there, if we get to 50 tonight, then I'll up the ante for the giveaway. Eli Raridon off the board. I do like Raridon for sure. He's an easy one to go out there and say, like, why wouldn't you take the bet, you know? Raridon's like, why wouldn't you take the bet on a situation like that with no clear future at tight end for the New England Patriots and good athlete with Raridon? So I like the pick, Cass. All right, we got some people subbing here. Let's see, what are we at now? We're at 47. Holy hell, that worked. Three more people need to subscribe. And you know what? I'll up the ante even more. All right, you want to get wild? If we reach 50, I'm going to honor what I said. Okay, 1 team playbook giveaway, 3 trade question vouchers, 4 winners. But if we reach 100, which there are 200 people watching right now, it should be physically possible. I'm going to give away 2 team playbooks and 3 trade question vouchers. Okay, so y'all wanna up the ante? Go subscribe to the Shorts channel. Let's see how big we can get this thing. Rioza, the reason I'm posting Shorts on a different channel is really just it'll sound weird, but it's a business decision. A lot of Shorts, when you get people subscribed from short form content, they aren't really the subscribers you're looking for long form content. And oftentimes there are moments where it can affect the algorithm of your long form content. So I like to kind of give it its own space. But we've got short form content that we're going to be producing all year. Yes, on Instagram, on YouTube, but we're also going to start posting on our TikTok, which we I used to put a big emphasis on TikTok. Kind of took a step back from it for a while, but I'm going to put some more time and effort into it this year. And same thing for the Instagram. So if you guys want to follow us there as well. But we're definitely going to hit 50 here. We're at 60. Oh my gosh. We need 40 more subscribers to up the ante for tonight's giveaway. To give away, right now we've already locked in a playbook and 3 trade question vouchers. If we reach 100 subs on the Shorts channel, we will add another playbook giveaway. So 5 total giveaways, 2 of them being team playbooks. So yeah, go subscribe to the Shorts channel if you haven't yet. And of course, like I said, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. I'm going to put a little more of an emphasis on those platforms this year. Okay, Carson Beck, a screaming value. Max Clare, I like the pick of Max Clare there. But in my opinion, Carson Beck, what an absolute steal at the 310. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I believe Carson Beck is going to be a star or even a good player. But in this type of rookie draft, Carson Beck is a second-round pick for me. I don't see a scenario in which he doesn't play in year 1. You've got Brissett, you've got Gardner Minshew. They're projected to win, was it 2 or 3 games? You're going to put Beck out there. You're going to see what he's got. And with all the weapons around him, like I could totally see a scenario here in which, he's he's someone that has a second round value, right? Excuse me. Sorry. If you can turn the 310 into a 2027 second or a 2028 second, I think that's kind of what you're looking for there with Carson Beck. Okay. I do have some unfortunate news. At the beginning of the stream, someone asked me to write down a name that I wanted to draft at the 412. And I can now officially tell you that that name has been selected. Does anybody want to guess what name I wrote down that I wanted to draft at the 412? Because it has been officially selected off the board. Motor City says Travis Hunter at a 3rd or RJ Harvey. Oof, that's pretty even, honestly. That's pretty much dead even. Might slightly prefer Hunter, but it's close. Most of you are getting the correct answer. All right. We wrote down on a sheet of paper, Justin Jolly, no matter what. Apparently, it's Joe Lee. Justin Joe Lee. So we're not going to be able to make that pick, unfortunately. Okay, we're not going to be able to clip this in 3 years if Justin Jolly is some superstar. But thanks for nothing. We were able to do that with Puka Nacua. That was one of our most famous moments on stream. Okay, what are we up to? We're up to 64. So we are 36 subscribers away on the Shorts channel from giving away an additional team playbook tonight. So if you'd like to up the ante for the giveaway, then go follow the Fantasyland Shorts channel. Clutch Take says, is the background sideways because you're down under? You know what? I can't for the life of me understand. Honestly, it's weird. It might be the angle because those are hung properly. Like they are. We've leveled them out. I gotta figure out why. You are right. I don't know if it's the angle or what, but it does kind of look like that. Seth McGowan is McGowan off the board. And let me see who I am going to pick next with my 412. I have a pick that I would love to make. I don't think it's possible, but I don't think I will be allowed to make the pick. There is a good pick there with Cole Payton. The couch and the paints aren't aligned yet. Fair. It could be my camera. My camera feels like aligned. I don't think that my... Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I'll look at it later, but it is annoying how, you know, it's like kind of whatever. I got you, Chris. I got you. Mike says, I know who you're thinking at the 412. Okay, I will write down a new name. I'll write down a new name that we want at the 412. Okay? Okay, name has been written down. Gold Greg maybe says came out of the draft with Love, Tyson, and Lemon after tanking last season. I like it. Coleman's another fun one. Kevin Coleman's another fun one because ultimately he's got as much as an opportunity as anybody in that wide receiver room in Miami. Okay, Jam Miller comes off the board. This will decide right now if I'm able to have a clippable moment. Will we have a clippable moment here or not? Don't do it to me, the dong song. Don't do it. Don't put me down like a dog in the middle of the night. Don't take them. Okay, let's go. All right, so I did not think I would be able to do this. Who do you guys think I'm about to take? Last pick of the draft. Who do you guys think I'm about to select here? I am honestly surprised. There's a lot of sharp players in this draft. I'm not saying that they made bad picks, but I'm shocked this guy has not been drafted yet. I have highlighted him a lot in my content. And typically, I think based off ADP, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's typically a third rounder in our drafts. But the name we wrote down. Taylor Green. No matter what, baby. No matter what. We are going to use this last pick to make a foundational move for this franchise. We are adding future superstar rushing freak athlete quarterback. He's going to make Shedeur Sanders look like a peewee quarterback. All right. Dylan Gabriel is going to be working at Subway because Taylor Green is going to just take all their jobs. Okay. But I am going to draft Taylor Green here. Honestly, again, surprised that nobody took Taylor Green, but that's perfect. That's actually who I wanted when I was going to trade into the third. I was like, oh man, I'd love to have Taylor Green, but I think he's the perfect taxi for this team. So let's go ahead and make some moves here. I'm going to drop Jalen Lane. You're gone. On our taxi, let's go ahead and add Taylor Green there. Where does that put us at now? We're one player over the limit. Yeah, George Holani, there you go. That was a fun couple of weeks where we thought George Holani might have some value at all whatsoever, but unfortunately, those days are long gone. George Holani no longer has any value, but shout out to the Echo League. Appreciate you guys. Now, this is the starting lineup we're rocking with. The high TRBs. We are trying to go back to back. May, Genty, Achan, Lamb, Olave, Pitts. We've got Nix, Bucky, Brees, and we're not going to put Harvey there as our last flex. We will put Marvin. On the bench, we've got Dowdle, Harvey, Concepcion, Ayuk, Gadsden, Ingram. We've got Taylor Green, Matthew Golden, Hunter, Gunnar Helm, and Travis, I guess Trevor Achan. Which, by the way, did anybody see the tweet I put out? I don't know if anybody else got a chuckle out of this. I thought this was so funny. You know, maybe I'm an idiot, but someone commented on my video where I was talking about Travis Achan, okay? And basically they were like, the fact that you keep calling Travis Etienne Travis Achan and many other blunders, I don't know if I can take you seriously. I just thought to myself, like, man, this is going to be a long offseason. Like, I can't imagine the amount of comments I'm going to get on the redraft channel when I talk about Travis Achan. I feel like it's going to be endless this year because half of the people will know that he came out publicly and said how to pronounce his name, and half of the people won't. And either way, people are going to call me an idiot. So I just have to accept that. Okay, we are going to get into this giveaway. We are at 69 subscribers. Nice. Look, okay, here's the deal. I will give you guys until the end of answering these trade questions on the Flock site to get to 100, okay? We have a big lofty goal today. If you haven't subscribed to the Fantasyland Shorts channel, I will go ahead and spam it in the chat. Now, here's the deal. We have already locked in the giveaway today that we're going to give away 1 team playbook and 3 trade question vouchers. So 4 things in total. If we can reach 100 subs on the Shorts channel, I am going to add another team playbook. So 5 winners today, 2 playbooks, 3 trade question vouchers. If you want to go ahead and show some love, subscribe to the Shorts channel. If we get to 100 by the time I get through these trade questions, we will go ahead and up the ante. And of course, once you subscribe, you can enter the giveaway simply by liking today's stream and typing Hera into the chat. Okay. Okay, let's go to these trade questions. Starting off with Driston, and if you want to submit a trade question through the Flock site, you're absolutely welcome to. Big shout out to the Bravo League guys, or the Echo League. I appreciate y'all hanging out and being constant supporters of the show. A lot of you guys are OGs. But I'm going to go ahead and replace the old link with the new link. If you want to get a team review tonight, if you want to get a trade looked at, that is the link to use. But okay, Driston in a Superflex start 9 would send away Kyle Pitts for a Xavier Worthy in a 28 second. Yeah, I'd rather have Kyle Pitts personally. No disrespect to Xavier Worthy, but I don't really have any interest in acquiring more Xavier Worthy. You know, if instead of Xavier Worthy, you put Marquez Valdez-Scantling, would you make this trade? I don't think you would. I just don't have any interest in acquiring him. Maybe I'm an idiot. Michael, sending away in a Superflex start 10, tight end premium, Henderson and AJ to get back Rashad, Sampson, and Pickens. Don't love this trade, to be honest with you. The main reason I don't love this trade is because Rashad White and Sampson are likely nothing burgers in Dynasty. So you're essentially, the way I'm viewing it, they're not going to make a big impact on the way I view a trade. You're essentially sending away Henderson and A.J. Brown for George Pickens. And I know it says you win, but I disagree with the calculator. This is why I always tell people a calculator cannot always contextualize all of my thoughts. It will tell you baseline values, but I don't agree that you win this trade. That doesn't account for the fact that Henderson, while ranked my RB12, has the potential to break out this year and sneak into that top 6 running back rankings this time next year. So overall, I'm not really a huge fan of this deal. If you are going to make it, I think you need to get something more enticing in return. And what could that more enticing thing be? Like Omar Cooper, Alec Pierce. You know, can you get back a Alec Pierce and a Rashad White instead of, you know, Dylan Sampson and Rashad White? So that will be my counter, but overall, I'm not in love with it. Okay, Boneslaw, Superflex 12-team start 10, tight end premium. He would send away Travion, Brian Thomas in a third to get back Jadarian Price in a late 27 first. I would personally put Henderson and Price in the same category. Same tier for me. So really the question is, do you want Brian Thomas or a late first? It really comes down to a player take. You know, how confident are you in Brian Thomas reclaiming his value? If you're confident, then you can keep the Henderson and Brian Thomas side, because if Brian Thomas comes out and has 1,205, he'll be back up there in that top 12 conversation for wide receivers. If you're not confident, if you think it's too messy, if you don't believe in him long term, then I think this is enough value for me to take the price side. Overall, again, I do think it is very fair value. Okay, you're my boy Blue. Superflex start 10 says, does this trade make sense for my team? You would send away Stroud and Nico for Justin Jefferson. Ooh, I think I'm taking this deal, but let's see your team. If you made this trade, you'd start Herbert, Stafford this year. Then you would start Gibbs, Walker. Then Pickens, Jefferson. This is way more complicated now. Laporta. Sorry, I mean this new feature that on the site. And then you need 3 more flexes. And those three flexes would be Marvin. My mouse died, of course. Sorry. Sorry, my mouse died, guys. Won't be any more than a second. Let's plug the bad boy in. Okay. Okay, so Marvin, Brian Thomas are in your flexes along with Henderson. Yeah, I see no reason not to take this trade, man. I like the Jefferson side of it. I'm not really sure what Stroud, needs to do to ever be like a top 12 quarterback. He basically has to become Jared Goff, which is possible, but I like betting on Jefferson there. Okay, rings last forever. Okay, so sending away Malik Neighbors and Trey McBride to get back Egbuka, Loveland, a first, a 105, and the 204. Okay. So I like the McBride to Loveland swap. Let's kind of break this down piece by piece. If you were to go from Loveland to McBride, you're probably going to have to pay the 105. Let's call that even. So the question is, would you send away Malik Neighbors for Egbuka and an early 27 first? Projecting first is very difficult. If I knew that was truly going to be a top 3 pick in 2027, yes, I'd probably make the move. You don't really know that. Right now, I think you're moving a lot of guaranteed assets. So as currently constructed, I prefer Neighbors and McBride. But as a counter, let's see. Let me just quickly take a screenshot. I'm sorry, guys. This new feature is bugging me. I just need to quickly submit this before I forget. Right now you have to click this. Okay. Okay, so if we were to make a move like this, I'm just thinking of how we can maybe even things out. I would probably ask for the 104. And, I was hoping you would have like a late first or something. Let's throw the Malik Willis, if not Willis, Kyler Murray. Okay? Those are 2 counters that I would be happy with, or even CJ Stroud. We want to grab the 104 and add in one of those quarterbacks, Willis, Murray, or Stroud. I'd be fine with that counter. Don't love it as it's currently constructed, though. Okay, we are going to do the giveaway. What did we end up reaching on the Shorts channel? We reached 70. Okay, so that's okay. First off, I appreciate everybody who subscribed over there. I'm confident we're going to bring you some great content over there. at the Shorts channel if you haven't subscribed yet. I'm going to go ahead and paste that link in the chat. I'll spam it for you. However, we still will have 4 giveaways tonight. Okay, this is your last chance to enter. We have 75 entrants so far. All you have to do to enter is simply like the stream. Step 1, like the stream. Step 2, type Hera into the chat. I'll give you guys one last second to do that. James says, do you have to do anything to get your team reviewed live? Add anything extra? What do you mean by that, James? Let me know what you mean by that. But I am about to go into live team playbooks. I can explain to you the process of getting a live team playbook. I'll review your team live. Afterwards, you get this beautiful graphic. You got to use the promo code LAND. Become an annual Mother Flock. Remember, that will give you a free voucher that you can use through the Flock store for a team review. Or you can go to the Flock store and purchase one a la carte if you're a member of a different promo code. There are 3 options when you get a team review. By default, it is live. The second tier lets you jump the queue. And the third tier lets you double your playbook. So the Pro Pass actually gives you 2 playbooks rather than just 1. Let me know if that makes sense. I would definitely say that becoming a promo code LAND annual Mother Flock member is going to be the best bang for your buck. By far, you're going to get the most in return by becoming a member versus just buying one playbook a la carte, right? There's so much more to your membership there. Okay, let's do the giveaway. We've got 77 entries. 77 entries. I think we'll save the playbook for last. So we'll start off with the 3 trade question vouchers, okay? 3 trade question vouchers. 3 different people are going to win. Who is our first winner? Our first winner for the trade question voucher. Our first winner is KevDog66. Let's get another winner here. We'll get 3 winners for the trade question voucher. All right, we had KevDog as our first winner. Our second winner is going to be AJW8. You see the rest of it. And our last winner for the trade question vouchers specifically is going to be Chase Weber. So all 3 of those people who just won, I need you to listen in for 1 second. If you won, there's my Discord username on the screen. I need you to DM me a screenshot of your YouTube account so I can verify you. And I need you to tell me your Flock Fantasy username. And if you don't have a Flock Fantasy username yet, use the promo code LAND when you sign up so I can find you on the back end. Now, we have one more giveaway, and this is for the big one. This is for our team playbook. So good luck to everybody, and to everybody a good luck. And our winner for the team playbook, it can't be a repeat. If it's a repeat, I'll respin. But our winner for the team playbook today is Mr. Narwhal 9585. So same process for you, my friend. Send me a DM on Discord, screenshot your YouTube account so I can verify it, and then tell me your Flock Fantasy username. And if you don't have one, create a brand new account with the promo code LAND, and it can be a free account, and I'll find you on the back end, okay? I appreciate you big time, showing some love and hanging out. Ian says, hey, Zach, I submitted a team review a couple weeks ago, and I just missed out on thanks tier. What does that mean? Thanks tier. What do you mean by that? On the Thanos tier. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I probably can't spend the same time, and I'm not probably. I definitely won't be able to spend the same time and effort on that as your initial review, but absolutely, I can have a look at it. I can have a look at it, but just with the amount of reviews we've got today, I wouldn't be able to spend, as much time as I did on the initial review. But guys, I appreciate you so much hanging out with us. We are going to move into the portion of today's video, today's stream, where I review people's Dynasty teams. Okay, so I'm excited to jump into that. And the first team that we're going to review here is Fitz-Bits. What's up, Fitz-Bits? Of course, if I review your team and you're in the chat, please let me know. I'd love to know who I'm hanging out with, and if you're in the stream while I'm reviewing the team. Your team name is Kraft Yak and Cheese, which means you are ranked 2nd in this league. The Flock site has you ranked 6th at quarterback, 2nd at running back, 2nd at receiver, and 5th at tight end. It's a 1 quarterback, 10 team start 8. So that is a very small lineup. And we will get to that in 1 second. Okay, sounds good, Ian. Bobby, You can get your team reviewed a couple ways, my friend. I would say the best way for you to get your team reviewed is by becoming a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. There'll be in the chat box where you just commented, there's a pinned comment that says get your team reviewed tonight, right? And there's a link tree there. You can become a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. That is the best bang for your buck. You get the vouchers, you get the war room, get the live playbook, the LAN League's website access, Discord exclusives, all the premium perks, right? Alternatively, if you're a member of a different promo code on the site, then you can buy one a la carte through the Flock store. But check out the link in the pinned comment. Okay, Fitzbits says, I know I'm contending, but looking to see where I can improve. One team in my league just put James Cook on the trade block and wondering if moving off Henderson is a good idea. Want to streamline quarterback tight end at the end of 24 and 25. I was praying for luck. I only added Mahomes week 2 last year. Okay, let's have a look at the squad. So, untouchables on this team would definitely be JSN. Okay, he's your clear best player, I would say, on the team. And second closest to that would probably be Patrick Mahomes. Players that I would want to hold on a team like this. Malik Willis, only because you're not going to get a first for him. I am very worried about him this year, but you need a quarterback 3. Actually, I guess you could move him because you have Tua and Penix. Also, it's a one quarterback league. What am I talking about? You don't need Malik Willis. You do not need him as a whole. Keaton Mitchell, I want to see what his role is in Los Angeles. Jalen McMillan, I would like to hold and see if he could break out in year 3. Caleb Douglas, a player that I am intrigued by, and AJ Barner or Elijah Arroyo. I'd rather say Elijah Arroyo there. Players that you could drop. Man, Jalen Wright, you could drop for sure. I would add one quarterback 10-team league. I'm tempted to say Debo, but let's see if he actually signed somewhere. So let's say Jaden Blue, which I would only drop Jaden Blue if you need the space. I would confidently say you could drop Jalen Wright, though, if you have to make a big move. On the waiver wire, no one that I'm intrigued by enough to drop the players that you currently have. Okay, so in a start 8, one quarterback 10 team, your start 8 would be Mahomes, Achane Javonte, JSN, Nico, Kraft, and then you can only start 2 more names between Chase Brown, Roma Dunze, T. Higgins, Travion Henderson, Michael Pittman. You certainly have enough to consolidate your roster a little bit. It's a very good team. You do have your upcoming picks in the future years, so that's great to see. I like this team a lot, honestly. Like, this feels like a... it might not be in the A category. It's definitely like B+, only because while you have a lot of really good players, you are maybe lacking like premium names outside those top guys. But hopefully we can fix that, because I think this is a very, very good team with a lot of depth, and I definitely think we can upgrade there. So let's let's go straight to the chalkboard and let's think about upgrades. My first question is, could we use Tucker Kraft plus T. Higgins? If not Tucker Kraft plus T. Higgins, you mentioned Travion Henderson, and you were talking about James Cook as a potential tier up. I would love to use Nico Collins. I wonder if Nico Collins plus Kyle Pitts, what could that net you? So let's start there. I want to start with that last idea. Again, Kraft and Higgins. Or sorry, Collins and Pitts. Who needs a tight end? Anybody need a tight end? The Sadiq owner might be interested. The Hawkinson owner definitely. And guess who they have? They have James Cook. Oof. How could we get James Cook from them? I think instead of using Pitts, we might actually try Tucker Kraft plus Jalen Warren as a beginning offer. And could we get James Cook for a price like that? This is not an official offer yet, by the way, the top one. I don't really want to use Chase Brown or any. I love all your running backs, so I don't really want to use those guys to upgrade. I'd rather upgrade the receivers. So let's look for a different team here that could maybe take on Nico Collins. What happened to this guy, man? This is one of the worst teams I've ever seen. Okay, we've got Chigakonkwo here. Kenyon Sadiq team. Okay, can we turn I would like to get Emeka Egbuka here. So can we do Tucker Kraft and T. Higgins for Emeka Egbuka plus what? Oh, come on. Emeka Egbuka. There we go. Trying to figure out how to even the value out there. Maybe you could ask for a 27 first back, but you will send a 27 second, excuse me. If not the second, you can also add on Jalen Warren, Michael Pittman. You know, there's plenty of ways that you could get that done. If the second isn't intriguing, what about Michael Pittman? If Michael Pittman isn't intriguing, what about Rico Dowdle, Jalen Warren, Malik Willis, Sam Darnold? So there's a couple of options there. Unfortunately, there's not really a perfect Nico offer around you, but who has Drake London? Okay, so what if we did Nico Collins plus Kyle Pitts for Drake London plus something really, really small? What about asking back for George Kittle? That doesn't seem crazy to me. We don't even need Kittle back if they don't want to give us Kittle back. I mean, we could even just take their 27 second if they wanted. That could work. Okay, is there another way we could consolidate here? From Nico, that's probably your best bet. Does anybody have like a clear superstar but lacks premium depth? How about the McBride owner? They've got pretty top end talent there. Omarion Hampton. Can we turn Javonte Williams plus T. Higgins? Javonte Williams plus T. Higgins for Omarion Hampton. I really love Javonte Williams. I don't really want to give up on Javonte Williams, but at the same time, you have so much depth. You could afford a move like this where you tier up somewhere. Overall, it's a fantastic team. I wouldn't really force anything. You don't really have to make a single move. You can go into the year with this team as it's currently constructed and be fine. Last thing I'll say is I'm not worried about him, but if you can move off of Achane, let's say plus Michael Pittman, you know, let's say plus a 27 second, or if you have to add multiple picks there, you know, can you get to the Ashton Genty range? If not Genty, can you get to Jeremiah Love range? If not Love, I don't really want to get to any other name. I'd rather just hold Devon Achane at that point. But premium team, small league, hammers win championships. Please do not sell JSN. Do not sell your number one asset in a league where hammers win championships. But I hope that's helpful, man. Appreciate you letting me look at the squad. And obviously, you'll get your team playbook here within the next 3 to 4 business days. Okay, we did get a trade question through from Moon, which I think this is the team that we were going to see if it was a Thanos. Yeah. I'd say one quarterback start 8. You're starting Josh Allen, Gibbs, Genty, Chase, Puka, Brock Bowers. Then you've got Neighbors. McCaffrey's on your bench. I will say you're very... Oh, and by the way, he's going to add Jeremiah Love and Carnell Tate or whatever he does at the 102. So yes, this is definitely Thanos now. 100% this is a Thanos. I was worried about your depth initially, but you have those two very impactful picks. Young team, elite across the board. You should be able to win a lot of championships with a roster like this. Even if McCaffrey ages out, you've got Jeremiah Love. You know, with such a gap between Neighbors and Besh, that's fine with Carnell Tate about to join the crew. Yeah, fantastic team, man. Congratulations. And I hope I was able to help you kind of steer it in the direction of, you know, becoming that Thanos. But I would definitely give you that tag. He says 40 trades since the startup last July. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's jump to our next review here. And let me just look at the back end because I think this is a pro pass. So yes, we do have a pro pass from I'm Last Again. So I see you, I'm Last Again. So if you guys heard earlier in the stream, there's quite a few different options that you get when you purchase a playbook. One of those options is the pro pass, which essentially for a small upgrade doubles your playbook. So very good value. And I'm going to go ahead and add you to the list of Pro Pass entrants. So you will get another playbook voucher. In fact, I'm going to give that to you right now. One thing I would say I'm Last Again. Are you here with me? Let me know if you're in the chat because you should easily be able to link your sleeper league. Like I can give you a review right now, but let me see on the back end if you've connected your league ID. No. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's get you a team review now. It looks like on the back end you're urgently wanting some help. So let's go ahead and give you the best review we can here. Okay. So it looks like this is a super flex league. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is a super flex start 10. The only difference is you've got 3 starting receivers and 2 flex spots. Okay. So 3 starting receivers, 2 flex spots. Okay. So currently you are starting Baker Mayfield, Gibbs, Jacobs, Pickens, Ladd, Addison, Bowers, Michael Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Jared Goff. The flexes are a little weak, but it's a good starting lineup. On the bench, you've got Mike Evans, which is great, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Aaron Jones. There's enough there to really piece together your flex positions. Now, unfortunately, you do not have your first in 2027, my friend. So I'm going to go ahead and label this a Windows Open lineup. Windows Open as a pathway essentially means you don't have your first in 2027. We need to do everything we possibly can to go out and contend right here, right now. It's very important that we contend without our own future draft capital, right? You have your first in 2028, but outside of that, you've only got a third in this year's class and in next year's class. That's it. That's all you've got to work with. So we need to really maximize this window. Untouchables on your team. Let's start with Jahmyr Gibbs. We don't want to move Jahmyr Gibbs. He is a focal point of your team, especially with the lack of resources you have. We've also got Brock Bowers on this team. Those are your two untouchables. Players that I would hold. Excuse me. I would hold names like Josh Jacobs. You're not going to find a better running back right now to compete with, and you don't have good running back depth, to be honest with you. I would also hold Mike Evans, some of these veterans that can help you in the flex. Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce. You're not going to be able to move these guys for better flex options. You need to keep those flexes strong. Players that you can drop. Zach Ertz can be dropped. He's currently a free agent. I don't see him playing a huge part over Chigakonkwo anymore anyway. Would I drop anyone else? Probably not right now. I mean, if you had to clear space, K. Dotton would be another name that you could drop if you wanted to clear up some space, but you don't need to drop anyone at all. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and let's look at your chalkboard. Right now, the team is already very strong. One thing that I thought of is Brock Bowers. You know, could we tear down from Bowers to improve our flexes? Only if we go to Loveland or Warren would I consider it, or Fannin maybe. And then Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't really want to move either of these guys, but if we're going to tear down and improve our flexes, they would be the two names that we would probably have the most flexibility to do so. I know they're your untouchables, but you can't really improve from Ladd without using a draft pick. Same with Addison, Pickens, Wilson, Jacobs. I prefer a better quarterback 3 as well, so we will look at those options. But off the top of my head, from Brock Bowers, Colston Loveland. Again, like, what could a move for Colston Loveland look like? If not Colston Loveland, Tyler Warren, or Harold Fannin. We don't really want to go too much further than that. For Jahmyr Gibbs, Omarion Hampton is an option. I don't mind moving from Jahmyr Gibbs to a Ashton Genty if the return is big enough. I don't really want to go much further than that. Maybe if the Devon Achane owner has something that we're really interested in. But hypothetically, let's just say, Colson Loveland plus what? I can't see the rest of your roster because you didn't link your team. But I'll say players in this kind of range, right? So like Colson Loveland plus it would need to be improving on that flex position we have. So Colson Loveland plus Rashee Rice comes to mind, right? Colson Loveland plus Chris Olave, right? Colson Loveland plus a Ted McMillan. Colson Loveland plus Emeka Egbuka, right? Those ones are easy. And I would do the same deal for Tyler Warren as well. So I'll probably just say, Tyler Warren, I probably would need more. So I want Drake London and Tyler Warren to make a move like that. If not Drake London, then I guess a deal probably doesn't get done. We could try for like a Justin Jefferson. Again, I don't know what these teams have who own these players, so I'm giving you estimations of the range you should be expecting back in return. And maybe you send like your third that you had. Depends on the premium. Justin Jefferson's probably not possible, actually. It's just the Drake London one that's possible. Harold Fannin. Again, would need to be Drake London. If not Drake London, yeah, there's not really another option. I mean, it could be like Rashee Rice plus a 27 first. You know, you can go that route if you want to go down a tier. For Amarion Hampton, ideally we'd like to add some of these top names. Like, so we move Hampton, we get, we move Gibbs, we get Hampton and CeeDee Lamb. We move Gibbs, we get Hampton and Drake London. Right? These are the type of deals that you should be wanting to get back in return. To go to Genty, you know, we want back Emeka Egbuka. We talked about this kind of range of players. I'm not personally Emeka Egbuka, but those are some options for you. Right? Rashee Rice, we talked about a lot here. And then if you're going to go Devon Achane, we want, you know, like a 1 to 2 future firsts in value. Now, outside of that, there's really not much flexibility here, man. You don't have your first in 27. You don't have your second in 27. You need to go out there and compete. But let's just say hypothetically you were able to move, you know, Bowers for a Loveland Egbuka. And by the way, if that's a running back, then you're looking for the range of like Javonte Williams. You're looking for the range of a Chase Brown, right? That kind of player. But imagine you were to lose Bowers. Okay, so we now have Loveland there, but we have Chase Brown as our flex or Jacobs in the flex. It just makes your flex is stronger already. Definitely do not sell the competitive assets that you have. Don't sell Jacobs. Don't sell Baker, Goff. Don't sell Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans, Pittman. You need to have as many flexible options as you can this year, considering the fact that you don't have your first in future seasons. But I do hope that that is helpful, my friend. You've already got that additional team review voucher in your inbox. I do need to give you a team grade. It's not a bad team, honestly. I probably lean... I'm probably going to lean like a B flat. B flat for a team like this. But hopefully that's helpful, man. You will get your team playbook here within the next 3 to 4 business days. The playbook will be completely customized to everything we talked about today. And obviously I appreciate you letting me look at your team. Very, very kind of you for showing some love to the site, to the stream. Okay, so we have another review here, and I don't know if this is the same team or not. Let's see. RJ. This is the same team we just reviewed. So why don't we take a second and let's actually dive in a little bit further for you, dude. Because now I have the information I need. I should have looked at this. I just thought you had a different team that you submitted, but you did it right this time. Okay. So the site has you ranked 11th at quarterback, 3rd at running back. They've got you 6th at receiver and 2nd at tight end. And okay. Cool. Well, let's go right back to where we were. I still would give you the same. You're still Windows open. You're still a B. But now we can get more specific with these trade questions. Typically, I would give someone a voucher to come back and submit, but it seemed like on the back end that you were very desperate for help. I didn't want you to have to wait through the weekend. So, but now this is good. We can have a look at really specific options. So let's go look at Colson Loveland. Okay. Unfortunately, the Loveland owner also has Trey McBride, but something like Colson Loveland plus Bucky Irving, right? Cameron says, I tried to buddy sign up to be Mother Flocker tier. Didn't use any specific code. I'm trying to get him to be able to access the Discord. Does anyone know how to be able to do that? Yeah, man, I would definitely say have him enter the promo code LAND on my account, LAND, when you go to my account on the site. And depending on when he purchased it, like, did he purchase it in the last 24 hours? Because if he did, then tell him to email support@flockfantasy.com and just say, you know, meant to use code LAND when purchasing. Can I get the vouchers, right? Just say something like that. Okay, he signed up 10 minutes ago, so he should be able to do that. In fact, I can message the guy who is our support person. And when he uses the promo code, I'll make sure he gets the vouchers. So team review, the trade question vouchers, access to the LAN leagues if he wants to get access to it. So just let me know when he sent that. But okay, so Colson Loveland plus Brock Bowers, excuse me. I would love to find a way to add Brian Thomas here. Like, for example, we get Brian Thomas and we send back Michael Pittman. Not Ryan Thomas. Brian Thomas, okay? So this would be a perfect deal for you. This is the type of deals I was talking about. If not Brian Thomas, that's okay. Can we get Devonta Smith, right? And instead of Pittman, we would send back like Tony Pollard or something like that. Okay, let's look at the Warren owner. Okay, so Tyler Warren owner has DJ Moore. They have James Cook. Perfect. Can we get Tyler Warren plus James Cook? What do we think about that, guys? I kind of like that one a lot. Tyler Warren plus James Cook. Could you net more? I don't think so. But if you could try moving. I think what I would try here is, if you could add more to this, then it would be DJ Moore on top, and you send Terry McLaurin. That would be kind of how I would try and make that one work. Okay. How about the Harold Fannin owner? Let's see who has Harold Fannin. Oh, Harold Fannin owner has honestly nothing. He's got the 101. Okay, well, that's an option. It's a Titan Premium League. Can you go Harold Fannin plus the 101? That then gives you a tight end that you can go out and compete with, and Jeremiah Love. That would be incredible. And you can honestly send back if you needed to. You know, if you can't get the deal done straight up, it's a Titan Premium League, so maybe it's possible. Michael Pittman, you know, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans, Tony Pollard. Like, what would it take to kind of get a deal like that done? Yes, and as far as tearing down from Jahmyr Gibbs, let's look at those options fast and give you some more specific options. First, we're going to look at Omarion Hampton, right? So, who has Omarion? Sea breeze. Okay, so Omarion Hampton plus Tet McMillan. And then I think we would also need to ask for a Kyron Williams and a Tony Pollard swap. Maybe it's just read all that. Sorry. Kyron Williams. But we're going to give back, what do we think? Like Michael Pittman, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans. Again, that range of receiver. That definitely accomplishes the goal that we have. Let's look for the Genty owner. Okay. Ooh, I like this a lot. So, you know, Ashton Ginty plus Chase Brown would be fun. I wonder if you could add another swap. Could you go and add Lad McConkey here? And send, sorry, on your end, and get back Drake London. That is a trade that would definitely help you. Okay, let's see. And then Devon Achane was the last one we were going to look at. So, taking a bunch of time here out to make sure I give you the best possible answers. I hope this is helpful. This would need to be like, honestly, we would need to be pretty aggressive here, like Devon Achane plus Jalen Hurts, you know. And then what you can do here is have a better quarterback 3 instead of Tua. Or you can trade Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff or Baker Mayfield, you know, to upgrade the running back room if you needed to there. But it looks like you have some draft capital here, which I did not see initially. You still don't have your first in 2026. But what I can do quickly is jump into the war room for you and quickly come up with a game plan. Okay, so at the 112, there's really not going to be anything that I love here. Boston will be an option. Probably for you, I would prefer Jonah Coleman, given your weakness at running back. Stowers would be an option. Stowers I would actually prefer in a tight end premium. Beyond that, get your guy. Okay? Who the hell knows, you know, what these third, fourths, all those are going to be worth, really. If you can trade the 112, you know, I would say trade for upgrade, which we will look at in the chalkboard in 1 second. Beyond that, you know, none of these seconds are really going to have much value. So I would say use in packages to upgrade. Right? If you have to throw them in. I'll show you an example here in 1 second. But I'm going to go ahead and paste or send your war room game plan for your rookie draft. I'm going to send that to the Discord. Okay, my friend? So in the Discord, under the War Room tab, under Land Community, War Room tab, you'll see a War Room there. But I said we can use the 112 for upgrades. So, for example, I think as much as I love Mike Evans, if I could do the 112 plus Mike Evans, I'm wondering what running back that could net me. You know, can I get a Javonte Williams to improve my running back room? Can I get a Chase Brown to improve my running back room, right? Wanting to find a way to make Tony Pollard not our RB3. Chase Brown, Javonte Williams, Jadarian Price, right? Can you use that to get Jadarian Price in this class? Can you get a Ken Walker? And this is why I say, like, where you add your other picks. So it's not just the 112. You add your 205, your 312. You know, all your picks if you could. Unlikely that that gets done, but all I'm saying is you can throw those picks into deals very easily. We don't care about those picks given the nature of your team. But that's a very complete review. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for letting me have a look at the team. I hope that's very helpful, and you will get your playbook here within the next 3 to 4 business days. There's already an additional team review voucher in your inbox if you want to submit another team. So I appreciate you big time, man. Thanks for letting me have a look. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's jump to the next review. Is Bori in the chat? Let me know if you're here, Bori. Bori. And Cameron, how did you go? Were you able to submit that email? Let me know, because I can DM my friend and let him know. Okay. Yes, sir, Brown. That would be reviewed tonight. Although I would really strongly encourage you, Brown, if you're not a member on the site yet, I would really strongly encourage you to become a member instead. It's about a $20 difference, but when you become a member, you get 6 trade question vouchers on top. You get, obviously, all the premium access to the site, the rankings, the tools that we've got, the tools that I've got, interactive rookie cheat sheet, all the tools I'll create for the 2026 redraft season. And you also get a guaranteed spot in a live land league on landleagues.com. And we've got that latest drawing that we're doing where we've got the Hera League, which will draft on Monday night. So, yes, absolutely. No matter how you get a team review, I can review it tonight. But I would strongly encourage you to become a member instead, as it's much better bang for your buck. Okay, Bori. This is a Superflex Start 10. And by the way, when you become a member, you get a free voucher is what I was trying to say there. Sorry. And you are currently ranked 8th in this league. And the website's got you 5th at quarterback, 10th at running back, 6th at wide receiver, and 12th at tight end. Okay. He says, this was a startup about a month ago, and I just am not a fan of this team, looking for any and all advice. It is a tight end premium. We have our picks next year, and we are starting Drake May, Sam Darnold, Brees, Rico or Harvey, London, Wilson, Hawk, oof, and then Marvin, Mike Evans, Michael Wilson, Pittman, Higgins. Yeah, I can tell why you're not a big fan. So much can go wrong here. You know, truly so much can go wrong with this team. You know, is Darnold even a good quarterback 2? You have no quarterback 3. Do you even have an RB2 you can rely on? What about your flexes? What about your tight end? There's a lot of gaps here. I would probably try and punt this team if I had it and move off some of these veterans. I'll probably give you right now I'd say C flat. Seems pretty fair. But at least you have all your draft capital, so you have that flexibility. Drake May is going to be your main untouchable. You don't really have another one. I would say your first in 2027 I wouldn't want to move. Players I want to hold. Right now, Isaiah Pacheco, because I think you could sell him for more in season. Jaden Higgins, I would like to hold. I think he's got a chance to really improve his value. Skylar Bell, you know, a lot of these rookies you obviously want to keep. Dazon Stribling. Players that you can drop, so many. Malachi Corley, you can drop Malachi Corley. Michael Carter, we can let go of. Kendre Miller. I don't see a reason to really hold Kendre Miller at this point. Efton Chisholm. There's a lot of names that you could drop, but I'm imagining your waiver wire sucks. And it does, but I mean, look, like Xavion Thomas is a little interesting to me there. Treylon Burks, I'd rather have than those names I mentioned. So, Drake May is not a terrible tear down option. He's much easier to tear down from than Josh Allen, given the nature of his value. Sam Darnold, we can look at moving on from. Michael Wilson. Mike Evans, Michael Pittman. And then Rico Dowdle. So some of these are in-season sells. Some of these are off-season sells. In-season. That would be Dowdle, right? That would be probably Pittman as well as Isaiah Pacheco. I'm probably spelling that wrong. But let's start with Drake May. Can we tear down off of Drake May? Is there someone that will want to tear down to to Drake May? Sorry, Brock Purdy, for example. This is pretty easy. Brock Purdy plus Travion Henderson plus a 27 first. Close. But we would give them back, you know, Michael Pittman or Michael Wilson or Isaiah Pacheco. You know, like some combination of those players you would send in return. I love Brock Purdy as a tear down option. Will be harder to tear down considering your league just drafted. I'm not opposed to like a Trevor Lawrence deal, but these are all competitive receivers, and it would have to be Trevor Lawrence plus 2 future firsts, and I don't really see that guy doing that. But I'd be open to it. Ooh. I like Tyler Shuck, but you're going to have to get a ransom. So you would need to do something like Tyler Shuck plus Carnell Tate plus 2 future firsts. Right? So unlikely that they're willing to pay that so close to a startup. But Shuck would be an option there. Jackson Dart will be perfect. But again, there's no young pieces that we can build around here. So someone's going to have to be willing to do, you know, 2 future firsts on top of this. What's up, Andrew? He says, new to the channel. I'm the one who upgraded to the Mother Flocker. Email support, like you said, using code LAND, hoping to get a team review, wondering what you suggest next steps. Yes. Let me find out on the back end if we have any update for you. Okay. I will get an update for you, but I can promise you that it will get fixed. Okay. Let's look at Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson will take any first in any year, right? I would say the same thing for all of these guys, Evans and Darnold. Maybe you can even package them. Like, is there a quarterback needy team that you could package Darnold to? Like the Daniel Jones owner. You know, can we send him Daniel Jones? Can we send him Sam Darnold plus Mike Evans or something and get a 2027 first plus a 2027 third or something? You know, you might have to package these guys. It's unlikely you'll get a first for them straight up. Of course, in season, if you get a first for Pittman, unlikely though. For Pacheco, we want a mid-second. And for Rico Dowdle, we want any second in any year. But in an ideal world, you can tear down from Drake. You can sell Wilson, Evans, Darnold, Dowdle, Pittman, Pacheco, all at top prices. And then you can walk into the 2027 offseason ready to compete with a lot more assets. That's the way I would roll with it, Bori. I hope that's helpful, man. And I appreciate you letting me look at the squad tonight. Is Cave Troll in the building? Okay, Cave Troll, you are up next. And is Fried Donuts with me? Let me know if either of you are here in the building today. Of course, you guys can get your team reviewed on today's stream. Check out the link in the pinned comment. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, Cave Troll, Cave Troll, Cave Troll. You gotta pay the boys toll to get... Gotta pay the trolls toll to get into the boys' hole. Does anybody know? If anybody knows that reference, I will love you forever. You gotta pay the trolls toll to get into the boys' hole. Okay. You are currently ranked 8th in this league. And you are 7th at quarterback, 7th at running back, 9th at receiver and tight end. Oh no, I'm really scared to look at your team here. He says, first time in Dynasty, I took over an already constructed team after a guy quit. Oh, buddy. I got to be honest with you, even before we start, maybe this is like some friends league or something. This is the worst way to be introduced to Dynasty football. By far the worst way to be introduced. You're in a small league. There's 2 or 3 or 4 really good teams that have taken advantage of everybody else. Yes, Matthew, you know. And you got to take over the team of the guy that got taken advantage of. You're currently ranked 8th. And look at this team they've left behind for you. Christian Watson and Josh Downs are in your starting lineup. Rachaad White is your RB2. Like, with all due respect, bringing someone into Dynasty this way, and I'm going to help you, but I'm just keeping it a buck with you, Cave Troll, because I think it, beyond me just like bullshitting you, I think it matters for me to connect with you on a human level. For someone to let you experience Dynasty football for the first time and this is it, it's like, it's honestly a little bit disrespectful. And again, probably it's just a friends league and, you know, it's all for fun. But they've basically told you, like, let me give you an analogy. They've basically said, hey, somewhere in the world we've hidden treasure, but we're not going to give you a map. That's basically what they've done to you. You don't even have your first in 2027, and this team is dog shit. So you're not even going to benefit. Like, I am never the type to tell someone to leave a league, ever. But like, I don't really see, like, do you even have your 28 first? How does this team compete? It's a start 8. So you're starting Dart, Scattaboo, Rachaad White, I guess, Carnell Tate, Christian Watson, Mark Andrews. It's just like, at best, this is like a very mid team that never wins a championship. At worst, you waste a bunch of years of buying into this league, participating on a team that has absolutely no chance to win a championship. I just think that's silly. They should have given you your 27 first back at minimum. And you don't even, like, how am I would tell you to punt this and rebuild it from the ground up. But again, like, you don't even have your own picks to do that. I'm sorry. I'm not, like, trying to be mean to whoever's done this to you, but there's not a single untouchable on this team. I guess you hold Rachaad White. What other option do you have? You hold Josh Downs, hoping he steps into a new role. Players that you can drop. I mean, is there even anyone on the waiver wire? Okay, your waiver wire is full of great players. I'm guessing the reason that is because there's another. This must be a 12-team league. Or is it start 10 and all these guys are really on the waiver wire? I'm going to take it at face value and say it's a 10 team league. I would love to trade, like, Matthew, we're on the same page, but he doesn't have any of his future picks. He's got a third next year. That's it. I just don't like this. But players that you can drop. Okay, Cooper Kupp, you can drop. You can drop Jerry Jeudy. You can drop Theo Johnson if you want. I would hold Theo. But you should be aggressively going after the waiver wire, my friend. Aggressively. Okay, so for example, Parker Washington. Parker's got to be on your team. Whatever fab you have, you need to be aggressively getting Parker Washington, Quentin Johnston. Yeah, I'd rather have like Chigakonkwo than Theo Johnson, actually. You've got Golf on the waiver wire. You've got Shuck. These are fine options that you could pick up too. But your waiver wire is very active. That's where I would try and... Dude. It's so silly because I have to now tell you. I now have to say, like, hey, man, we don't have our picks, so let's try and compete. How? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you the in or out pathway, and I'm not trying to be negative. But I think you need to figure out if you actually want to be in this league. Maybe that is the best advice I can give you. This is a terrible way to begin playing Dynasty football. And if I had to give your team a grade, even with your draft capital, the team they've given you, let's keep it a buck, guys. Let's keep it real. This is an F team. This is one of the worst teams I've seen as an orphan in a long time. At least you have the 102. But they've set you up for failure straight away. They really have. And if you want to send them this link and have them yell at me in the comment section, I'm happy to take it on. But if they're honest, they knew the team they were giving you was terrible. They had to have known that. Okay, sorry. I'll get off my tangent here. And maybe it was paid for. Yeah, that's a good... You know what? That's fair. Mike is right. Hopefully it was paid for multiple years and you don't even have to, like, think about it, right? Okay. So at the 102, we are going to grab Carnell Tate. At the 110, whoever's left over between Sadiq... It would either be Sadiq, Cooper... Oh, dude, this sucks because in a non-super flex, those guys aren't going to be available. Damn, dude. So, yeah, it's actually not going to be either of these. It's probably like Jonah Coleman or Stowers or something. Beyond that, get your favorite guy. Right? Whoever your guy is in this class, draft him a couple times. At the 102, I mean, if you wanted to trade the 102, you could trade it. You know, if you add a George Pickens, that could work out well for you. If you add a Ken Walker... that could work out for you. If you can trade the 110 for like a Josh Jacobs. If you can trade the 110 for a... like a Bashul Tootin, maybe. You might even, like a Derrick Henry, we might have to go pretty far into the barrel. Beyond that, you know, we're not going to trade the seconds, third, and fourths unless they're like throw-ins in some deal that you're trying to get done. I'm going to put this war room in the Discord. Okay, under the war room tab, you will see under the land community war room tab, you'll see that your war room there. I'm going to take a sip of tea. My throat's killing me, sorry. Okay. Now, when I say you're an in or out team, again, you have to decide if you even want to be in this league. But secondly, if you can go out, can you send Cam Scataboo for your 2027 first? Jackson Dart's not going to be worth much in this league. So I don't really think that's possible. But I will just say, of course, if you can get that done, you do that too. And if you're in, it's really like adding off the waiver wire, you know. And your team's still going to be so average. But I'm going to give you waiver wire priority ads, okay, like a list. Starting off with Parker Washington. Then Quentin Johnston. Then Chigakonkwo. Brenton Strange. You know what? At minimum, they should allow you, without even using your fab, to drop however many players you want and freely add guys from waiver wire. At minimum, they should accommodate you that way. Isaiah Likely there as well. At quarterback, we'll pick up Tyler Shuck. And then you can drop Sam Darnold if you wanted to. Jared Goff is there. Jared Goff, Kyler Murray. You've also got Zach Charbonnet, who I don't think has much value, but is worth rostering. Then we go to the Jalen McMillans of the tear down from Dart if you have to compete and you're going to stay in this league. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Like, again, Cave Troll, do you understand what I'm saying here? Can you please look at this team and honestly ask yourself, like, what are we doing in this league? Okay, I've already hounded it too hard, but it's just so silly. So silly. Okay, so like I think maybe CJ Stroud plus. Actually, let's just give it straight up, and we'll ask for Breece Hall. If not Breece Hall, then could we get a Travion Henderson? Or Bucky Irving, and then you just add a quarterback off the waiver wire. Yeah, no one has a desperate need for quarterback. Man, look, I hope this is helpful. You know, I maybe have been too negative. Hey, Brown, why don't you... so did you intend to purchase the annual Mother Flocker membership with the code LAND, but you had domain in there before you made a purchase? Is that right? Okay. What I need you to do is email support@flockfantasy.com and explain to them that. And tell them that you just made the purchase. You had the intentions of supporting LAND. And as long as it's within 24 hours, they're able to fix you up. So let me know once you've emailed them, and I'll let support know that they should be expecting you. Thanks, Brown. Appreciate you, man. Okay, again, Cave Troll. I hope this wasn't negative. I hope there's a positive that you can take away from it. Maybe I'm going to save you multiple years of wasting your time. Maybe you don't care and it's fun and it's a free league. You know, then get some experience. But I was as honest as I could be. Couldn't have been more honest than that. And I do think that, you know, people appreciate the honesty. That's what I can offer you. I can be as blunt as you need. Okay. Fried Donuts. I would love to review a different team for him too. Like, you know, imagine that guy got into a startup and actually was able to have fun and build a team on his own. All right, Josh. What's up, brother? I love the Fried brothers. Shout out to the Fried brothers, the Fried family. Superflex start 10. This is a land league, I think. He says, Apollo League, just out of the startup, want your opinion on what way to go with this team. Traded Hurts plus Purdy for May, Darnold, and Pittman. Okay. Hurts plus Purdy. Okay. I'll keep it a buck with you. I probably would have preferred to keep Hurts and Purdy there. But let's have a look. The good news is you are ranked second in this league. The site has your quarterbacks ranked 6th, second at running backs, 11th at receivers, and second at tight end. Untouchables on this team. We've got Bijan Robinson. We've got Trey McBride in a tight end premium. Players that we're going to hold. Jonathan Brooks, I would like to hold. Chris Rodriguez, would like to see what he can become. Romeo Dobbs. I mean, let's see what New England does at receiver. Do they actually get A.J. Brown or not? And then Keenan Allen, just because I want to see if he's going to sign somewhere before the year or not. If he doesn't, you can drop him easily. A lot of names you can drop here, right? Calvin Austin doesn't really deserve a roster spot anymore. Kareem Hunt doesn't really deserve to take a roster spot anymore. On the waiver wire, I imagine there's probably not much. Treylon Burks, if you want to kind of have a fun pick, but there's not really anything that I would desperately be looking to keep on the roster. Okay. I'll let them know that you just emailed. I can promise you that they'll get that sorted. I just don't know if it'll be today. Okay. So. But I appreciate you, man. Thanks for supporting the show. I'm happy to have you in the community. Right now, we would be starting Drake May, Sam Darnold, Bijan. I don't know who at RB2. Travis Hunter, Michael Pittman, McBride. Oof. This is a toughie. Ben says maybe try to trade back with the guy at the 103. But he has the 105. Right? So he would have to trade up if he was trading, right? I appreciate that, Brown. Okay, look. The reason you're ranked so high is probably because you've got good draft capital and you've got 3 elite assets, right? Oh, sorry, Ben. My bad. The Fried brothers are in the chat, though. I love that. Drake, Bijan, Trey McBride. But overall, it is not a very strong team. There's way too many holes. You know, even if the draft goes your way and you get every player that you want, there's just a lot of weaknesses here. And we cannot assume that you're going to have no injuries this year, because that's just not ever the case. I'll be honest, I don't see you as a real contender. You'd have to aggressively trade those top 6 picks to be a contender, you know? Like Javonte plus, Nico Collins plus for the 5 and the 6. I would lean towards punting since you have your first in 2027. And I'd probably put you at like a C flat grade right now, and that's not bad. You're still second on the site. Most people's teams are the worst they typically are when the draft concludes, right? But I will give you draft capital grade an A minus. Okay, let's jump into the chalkboard here. And, you know, Josh, let me know if you prefer to compete. Let me know. Like, I will cater it more towards that path. But, you know, here at the 105, Mendoza's going to be an option. Tyson's going to be an option. Lemon, Price, right? Those are going to be the options. So you're going to walk away with 2 of these names. And I love whatever that outcome is for you. You need help at literally every position outside of tight end, right? So if you add a Mendoza and he's your quarterback 2 with Sam Darnold, and then a Price and you now have an RB2, great. But your wide receiver room is still a big weakness, right? I think Concepcion is a great target for you. If not, I don't mind Ty Simpson, simply because we are punting anyway. At the 201, you know this by now, but, you know, Coleman is an option there. Boston, I might prefer Boston if you went Price earlier, for example. Stowers, don't be afraid to take a Stowers, excuse me, and a tight end premium like this. And then couldn't tell you who the BPA is down below. Now, if you wanted to compete, I mean, you'd have to send that 105 for a receiver, you know, and a running back. So, you know, it'd have to be like a Scatterboo plus, and you get a receiver on top. Scatterboo Addison, right? Hypothetically. No, Javonte Williams plus Jalen Waddle is you're probably not going to max that much. But overall, I prefer keeping these picks. Okay, cool. So we're on the same page then. If you can trade the 108 for any future first, then, you know, that's a no-brainer. And you can use to tier up from the 108, those seconds. We'll have a look. Those are all options for you, but I'm going to put this in the War Room Discord channel, which you are aware of how to get by now, I'm sure. Let me know if you're not. But let's jump to the chalkboard, because I think I don't think Drake May tear down is possible right now, considering you just traded for him. What I think you might have to do is see what a Bijan deal could look like and a McBride tear down could look like, right? So if we were to move down from Bijan, you know, who has the 101? So what do you think about like the 101 plus Emeka Egbuka, right? Something like that. I like that a lot. Excuse me. I wouldn't hate a Travion Henderson move. Right? I would want more. Maybe this is where you get a Mecha Ibuka as well, but you send the 108 back. I like that a lot, actually. And look, I don't know if you can net more from Ibuka. You know, can you ask for another first in this 101 trade and you send like your 201 plus 203? Probably not, but... okay, so if it wasn't the 101, what about Genty? Genty makes sense. Yeah, there's not a young asset here that I love. It'd have to be Ashton Genty plus a 27 first. Yeah, I don't know if you can net more than that, to be honest. You know, could you add Cam Ward and send back your 201? Maybe that's the best way to maximize it. Other option, last one for Bijan would be Hampton. And they might be keen because they look like they're trying to be a competitor. It'd have to be like Hampton. I just don't know exactly how we even out the value, because obviously Omarion Hampton plus a 27 first. I just don't know where we equal the value out there. You know, can we add their 28 first and then send them the 201? Do they need both of those first, the 201 and the 203? Trey McBride. I don't think the Loveland owner is going to move. Harold Fannin would be awesome. Could you do like Harold Fannin, Adunze? Ooh, what about this? Harold Fannin plus Rome Adunze. I have to say it very clear. Huh? Nope. Plus the 103. And we send back the 108. How about them apples? We can also take their 27 first instead. Look, I'd love to tell you, like, use Pittman here, but I don't think Pittman gets the job done. But, of course, if that's possible, you know, you can use Michael Pittman instead of the 108. Unlikely that that gets the job done, though. Excuse me. Laporta, Thomas. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Not going to do it for Pitts. Tyler Warren. Well, Tyler Warren plus the 102 is a no-brainer. Tyler Warren plus the 102. Now, what would you have to send back? The 201 in a tight end premium? Is it the 108? You know, you can get a little creative there. But those would be my main ideas. Please let me know if you have any questions, Josh. If there's anything that I didn't answer that I could answer. Now, I got to be honest with you, keep it a buck. Right now, it will be the hardest time to make trades like this because you're coming out of a startup. And if you're not able to get deals done, then you're best off drafting rookies, holding your team into the season, seeing if you can be competitive, and ultimately still having your picks in the future and kind of like slowly trusting the process. This is like, this is trying to accelerate the process, but of course, you can still trust the process. I just realized you didn't get to see those names, but there you go. My bad. A trade down from Drake May. I don't think it's going to be possible because you just traded for him. And to be honest with you, like, people in my community, this is a LAN league. they know exactly what I think, and a lot of them would probably align with my thoughts. So I think of, okay, so for example, Trevor Lawrence plus Brian Thomas plus a 27 first. And then you send your 201. If that's not enough, your 108. Right? That would be kind of the range. But I think you're going to find it hard because I am constantly kind of telling people that I'm open to tearing down from him. So people might not be as interested. Could you do something small to Daniels? You know, like a Daniels Tootin, a Daniels Scat. That would be a no-brainer for me. This would be cool. Caleb Williams plus Ladd McConkey. That would be awesome. But yeah, you might find it hard. Jackson Dart is an awesome option. But this guy's all in. Yeah, I mean, do you really want to go Dart, Brown, Dart, Saquon? There's just too many veteran presences there. So those would be your main options, man. But I appreciate you letting me look at the squad. And let me know if you have any final questions, dude. What's up, Warner? Can you never change your promo code after creating an account, even if it's free? You can change your promo code if you have a free account and you've never purchased anything. Once you purchase something under a promo code, it locks you. But if you've never purchased anything, you can change it. You just need to contact support, or you can contact me if you want to change it to land. I'll help direct you into the right spot. Of course, Josh. Appreciate you, man. The Josh brothers are big supporters of land, and I appreciate that big time. I appreciate you guys showing some love. All right, I think we have one more here from Big Bishop. This is probably going to end the stream. But if you have in the past, the alternative, Warner, is creating a new account, right? Or you can go to the site issues tab on Discord and see if they can, wing it for you. I don't think they will. But the alternative is creating a new account, which isn't a problem for most people. But that would be the other option there. All right, Big Bish. I have a friend in Australia called Bishop. Call him Big Bish. Pervy Sage is the name, which I don't even know what to think about that. Is that a boy? Is that the boys reference? I wonder if that's a reference to the boys. Oh, it's Naruto. Okay, then I don't know much about Naruto though. Then. Pervy Sage is currently ranked. Ooh, dead last. We are 11th at quarterback, 11th at running back, 8th at receiver, and 5th at tight end. And this is a super flex start 12 with a tight end premium. Oh my gosh. Huge lineup. Huge lineup. Let's have a look at it. You have 2 firsts and 27. Okay. So our untouchables on this team... let's have a look. We've got Jordan Love, Darnold, Henderson, and Henry, Rice, Adunze, Kraft, Brian Thomas, Laporta. Those are all the guys that you could force into your lineup. And it's a start 12. So you're still missing 3 starters, even if your entire team stays healthy. I mean, there's just no way I'm not punting this, This is definitely a punt. Team is not the strongest team I've ever seen for sure. I'd say, like C- range. But I'm going to give you a B+ for your draft capital because you got multiple firsts in the future. Untouchables should be your 27 first and your 2028 first. Those are the assets you're really not moving. Players that you should hold. Caleb Douglas, right? I want to see what he can be as a fun flyer. Eli Stowers. Would like to see what Eli Stowers could be. Keaton Mitchell, because in season, if he has any value, you can maybe sell him on a high with the Chargers. And at this point, I don't think McCarthy's worth anything, so maybe he wins the job. He probably won't. Players that you can drop. So many players that you can drop. Oh my gosh. Pretty much half of your lineup, but Mitchell Trubisky comes to mind straight away. Stetson Bennett. I haven't seen Stetson Bennett rostered in a league in a long time. Bobo, Tyler Johnson, Eric All, Caleb Lawner, Brevin Jordan, Brock Wright, Cade Stover, Gesicki, Higbee, Noah Gray, Calvin Austin, Yeshivas, Joshua Palmer, Jarrett Stidham. You can drop so many names if you wanted to clear up space. But of course you don't have to because your waiver wire is naked. Yeah, I would be wanting to punt this thing for sure. Derrick Henry in season, you want to get max value there. Sam Darnold, you could look to sell. Jordan Love, I would be looking to sell. Sam Laporta, not opposed to selling either. Want to get those points off my roster. Not opposed to selling Rashee Rice if the right offer is out there either. So, Derrick Henry, any first in any year, we will take. Okay. Same for Sam Darnold. For Jordan Love, you know, right now he's valued around the rookie picks of a Mekhi Lemon. He's valued right around a Jadarian Price. A Fernando Mendoza. I'd rather have Mendoza with your build in particular. Jordan Tyson. I'd rather have any of those names. Or can you get an early to mid future first? Ideally in 2027, right? Laporta, we will take any first in any year as well. Rashee Rice, you're going to want multiple, let's say 2 future firsts. That's in season if he's doing his thing and really kind of dominating. But yeah, whoever is willing to pay these prices, right? I'm not going to, like, the thing is, I would get specific, but there's no tear down options. Like, you can't tear down from Rice, Laporta, Love, Darnold, Henry. These aren't tear downable guys. So it's really like, these are the price points if someone willing to pay them. You know, in season, Derrick Henry is going to be easier to sell. Maybe even Rashee Rice if he's scoring 18 points per game. But ideally, you'd like to get those points off your roster. Everybody else you're going to build around. And I would definitely tear it down. I don't think you're really close to competing. But I appreciate you, Big Bishop. Thanks for showing some love to the channel. If you have any questions, let me know. I guess on the DMs, I don't see you in the live stream, but I do appreciate you big time for supporting the show. To our people who are waiting to get their code moved, I appreciate you. I promise you we'll get that fixed and we'll get that figured out. We just got to wait for support to reply to us. But did have a super chat here. I'll probably end on this super chat. Cam's card says Swift, Chig, 205, or the 112 and the 202. Pretty even, honestly. I would need to know, like, how big your lineups are, what format you're in, if it's a tight end premium or not. Pretty even. Swift is probably the most valuable piece there. As crazy as that is to say. And then the 202 is right outside of a tier for me anyway. So I would tear down from the 202 to get Chig in the 205. So I would probably prefer the Swift side of that. Guys, that's it for today. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Hopefully my sickness wasn't too much of a bother on the stream. And we will see you guys very soon. Brand new Cornerstone rankings out on the channel. Go follow Fantasyland Shorts channel if you haven't yet. And yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging out, showing some love, and having some good conversations here. Nothing but love, gang. I'll see y'all soon.